Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in positive territory once again this morning, pushing further into record high territory. In fact, coming off a record-setting performance last week, we had both the Dow and the S&P closing out the year on Thursday in record high territory. The NASDAQ did come back ever so slightly. It was a surprisingly strong year for the NASDAQ overall, surging off of March lows to record a 43.5% yearly gain for 2020. That's its best yearly performance since back in 2009. Wall Street, meanwhile, also keeping an eye on Georgia this week. Tuesday, we'll have the Senate runoff elections in Georgia, with Democrats possibly looking to take back a majority in the Senate if that election goes their way. Tesla shares on watch this morning. Speaking of record highs, back in record high territory. We got 2020 delivery numbers from Tesla over the weekend. We also got delivery numbers from Li Auto, XPeng, and NIO, all huge beats right across the board. So Chinese EV makers in focus this morning. We'll talk about Palantir coming up as well. Yet another contract awarded to Palantir. It's Monday, January 4th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see Australia leading the way to the upside, 1.4%. Just Japan ending to the downside. Everything else nicely higher. Let's have a look at Europe. We'll shift over to European markets. Positive numbers here right across the board. We'll shift over one more time. Have a look at North American futures. As I said, yeah, Dow, NASDAQ, both 0.4% to the upside. The S&P as well. Back in positive territory. TSX futures here in Toronto looking at 0.76%. Brazil's open already, trading up about a full percent. Bitcoin, yeah, off those record highs we saw over the weekend, still showing a positive number there. We'll talk about that. Crude oil to the downside this morning, and a nice little pop there, 2%. For gold to start the new week, 1.9%. Good morning, guys. It is Monday. It's a brand new month. It's a brand new year. In fact, first trading session of the new year. Lots to get to this morning. I mean, 35,000 for Bitcoin over the weekend. We saw Ethereum back above that $1,000 level. So lots of those little Bitcoin cryptocurrency miners in play this morning.
You can say that again. You just it feels like you're going to start seeing those headlines come through where companies just sort of add cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or something into the tag, and then you're going to get some big time runners. Happy New Year! Welcome everybody. It is 2021 and already starting off with a bit of a bang in the markets. Obviously, the numbers out of Tesla, NIO, XPeng, all those delivery numbers, fantastic. You're going to see those names all running. We'll talk a little bit. Actually, we'll talk a little bit about some of the recent IPOs because some initiating of coverage on some of those recent names, DoorDash. C3 AI as well. So they're kind of in play, not moving around as much. But I got NIO up here because Tesla's at all-time highs, but NIO isn't quite there yet, and it seems like it's going to be inevitable. We'll try to figure out exactly when that's going to happen. But it should be an exciting one here, Sean, and obviously last year was fantastic. We're in a new one, and I think it's going to be bigger and better than ever. And judging by the volatility already this morning, it should be a fun one.
Yeah, no, I was just looking here about the CNBC today, not showing the right stuff. That's okay. BTBT, Neil, that's another Bitcoin name there. Thanks for bringing that up, Brendan. Yeah, Bitcoin just rocking and rolling here the last little while. And Brendan brought this name to us last week. $6, $7, guys. BTBT today, $25. We saw Bitcoin going through the roof. Right now, 31.2. Got pretty high, I guess 35, 34. We'll find you the day's high exactly. But look at this. This is one thing I wanted to show you. Neil just talked about NIO. I have NIO written on my little sticky note here. We're going to be trading that today for sure. XPeng, NIO, Palantir, not really doing much, but it's there. And then Quantum is here as well. So a few names. Oh, there's IPOC. from last week. So yeah, some good names on board here. It's going to be a good Monday, and it's going to be a great 2021. I mean, 2020, obviously. See you later. We'll talk to you guys again soon, and we'll welcome in the new year, hopefully with a bang. Look, it was a good year for the markets if you got your money in on March, but other than that, you know, rough one all around. So we'll just continue to trade the market, see what happens here. A couple vaccine names in play again today. So I'm excited to get rocking and rolling. NEO now, as you guys can see, here we go. Already starting up, 51.29 right now, breaking out. I wanted to hammer 51 on the board, but obviously that just broke. So NEO up 5+%.
Yeah, going to be an interesting session for all of those EV makers. If we could, Robbie, just show my screen here. Neil mentioned real quick the initiations from analysts when it comes to these recent IBOs. You can see Airbnb, C3 AI, DoorDash at the bottom there. Yeah, these are all the analysts that initiated coverage on all three of these. So a significant list, thanks to our friend Mark Roberts. He's going to join us in a second here to talk about that and much more. Before we get into things, though, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and hello, traders. We're happy to be back and wish you a great trading day. Please support, smash thumbs up, and let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, let's indeed get it started, guys. We can start things off with these recent IPOs. Airbnb, we just showed you AI and DoorDash all, you know, in positive territory this morning, but coming off of those highs. We just saw that extensive list of analysts starting the new year off by initiating coverage on these stocks. Is there any weight behind this? Like, do we look at these differently now that, you know, some significant banks are getting behind them?
I would say at this point probably no, because the majority of, speaking of DoorDash specifically, the majority of the ratings were neutral. And yeah, most of the chatter was, most of the talk surrounding even the bullish senses were the valuations are a little bit rich. So even those that felt like it was a buy, I think the most bullish was Needham. They were pretty aggressive with their price target. But overall, you're seeing they're basically flat. I just think it's one of those situations where if this starts to fall or, you know, starts to come back in or even catch a little bit of a breakout, you're going to start to see some bigger money maybe coming into the fray here, especially on value. And we're going to have to start paying attention when any of the big names start changing this. I mean, it's kind of boring for them all to be at neutral, or for most of them to be at neutral on DoorDash. But if you do remember, and if you guys were watching the show last year, and of course I mean last week, there was significant buy support on a DoorDash at a 140 level. So, you know, it just feels like, I'm not saying this is priced right. That's not what I would even try to remotely say at all, because I don't necessarily believe it myself. But that level and the fact that you have a lot of these neutral ratings come in, it does feel to me like it's found some stabilization in its price, and that could lead to a bit of an upswing, especially to start the year. So I will be watching this one in particular rather heavily. And if you read the report, I mean, you know, Needham seems to think the stock should be at $200. So it should be interesting. It was at $200 almost briefly. It would take a lot to get there again. But that 140 level, worth a watch for me on DoorDash anyways.
Yeah, great minds on some of these ones for sure. Look, DoorDash, that's, oh man, I hate DoorDash because of the IPO day. I remember losing $2 there, and I think it was 13 seconds or less than 10 seconds when that IPO, stupid DoorDash. Okay, Airbnb right here. Look, I'm going to choose what I think is probably the best of them all, although C3 AI is definitely showing the most strength, I think, in all of those names that we just talked about on those upgrades and downgrades and cover initiations. So remember, a lot of these are just initiated coverages. They're not upgrades, they're not downgrades. They're like first mover initiatives, right? So I was looking at the Airbnb list. If we have it, we could show it again. Maybe we'll do it when Mark comes on. But Airbnb seemed to get some more equal weights to overweights than normal on that list. And I was just looking here. I like this 151.50 that we bunched out on the 30th. The 31st, remember, there wasn't much happening there on New Year's Eve. So those of you that were watching, although it was a full day, it was kind of slow before, you know, pulling off here in the aftermarket down to 145 and change. But it was trying to go. So I'm going to use this 151. We'll watch to see what happens. Right now, it's about a 60-cent spread. So I like Airbnb to the high side. If you guys, you know, any preference on some of these, you can put that in the chat as well, or tweet at Neil or Brendan or I. But I prefer Airbnb here to go long through 151. Remember, if you are trying to short some of these things, you got to make sure your broker does have the locates, because otherwise you'll get a negative return on that short, you won't be able to short. So double check that on DoorDash. I know probably Neil's checked that already. So if you're looking to short any of these, make sure your broker has them before you get all your charts and your lines all lined up. But I like a 151 break, and then even better, a 151.50. However, I think these both happen at the same time. The stock's not super liquid on these levels. I mean, there's lots of liquidity, but the spread can open up. So like a 151 break probably triggers 151.50 anyways. So I think we're going to take a 151 break. Not only is it the high of the day, but we also have some consolidation up here and then a top right here at 150.50. So you could even get a little more spicy, Brendan, at 150.50, wait for 151.50, or take right in the middle. So I'm going to be long Airbnb, but it's not a breakout strategy early. Let's just play it and see how we go. I'm more worried about where the hell Jack Ma is, Brendan.
Keep going.
Yeah, that was an interesting note. I did see that this morning as well. Apparently missing for a couple of months now, Jack Ma, but I'm sure he's fine.
How?
Now, it doesn't make any sense.
What is the market cap of it? Like, I should know this because I've been recommending Alibaba, and I am long Alibaba, and I just bought at 223. And then now I was like, oh, we're never going to see that again. Then all of a sudden the CEO is MIA, and he's being questioned by the Chinese government. So this is still Airbnb, so that's good. Like, here's Alibaba again, guys, today, just getting hammered. Like, it started off rebounding quite nicely. 239.50, then you get coming back down on Friday or on Thursday, I guess, and then now today. And I was just looking at Twitter. It's literally like trending, like, where is Jack Ma? You would think that the CEO of the most influential company in China goes missing, and there would be more of like an all points bulletin out for this guy. Like, where is like Tim Cook or where is Mark Zuckerberg? I'm sure we know where they are, but nobody knows where Mr. Ma is. Come back, my friend. We need Alibaba back.
It seems a little bit convenient, but yeah, we'll hopefully find Jack Ma very soon. Let's bring in Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, get his thoughts on where Jack Ma is, maybe first off. But good morning, Mark. Happy New Year. Good to have you back. Let's talk Alibaba. Why don't we? I mean, it's been a few days now, straight to the downside, and now we find out that Jack Ma is apparently missing in action.
I hate to say it, but 247 was your short, and until somebody proves me wrong, I short rallies.
There we go. We'll discuss Alibaba a little in depth. We're having some audio issues here. A little bit more in depth coming up here in a second. I want to get your thoughts, though. We showed your list here. Thank you once again for your note this morning. Your list of initiations, buy ratings, sell ratings, price targets, things of that nature on all these recent IPOs. A lot of them this morning. I'll ask you the same question. Do we put any weight behind this? Do these get looked at a little bit differently because of this?
I would count to 100 and then take a look at the markets. Traditionally, when everybody is free to come out and put their advice out, especially in a new year, I give it 50-50 importance. I think liquidity is what it's all about, and we'll see how that goes over the next few days. Airbnb is my choice because that's the option instead of going back to your full hotel. DoorDash, the business has been fabulous. I am not sure what the valuation is, and at this point, I think you're just going to see increased volatility.
Speaking a little bit more generally, from an overall market perspective, first trading day of the new year, what do we look at going into this year? What are you excited about? Where do you want to put most of your attention in the first week, at least?
I'm looking at a lot of the, we'll call it unloved industrials. That could be anything from Air Products to GE to those type of names. They've been left in the dust. I mean, there have been activity, but as far as the broker side, they've not started looking at them very much for the simple reason that IPOs have taken your front door interest, and on top of it, add Tesla and the Dow and everything else. So I'm starting to look at the unloved industrials. Speaking
of Tesla, it's hard to kind of group them in the same group Tesla with, the XPengs, the Li Autos, the NIOs of the world. But, these delivery numbers beating once again right across the board when it comes to that group. Obviously, Tesla, excluded maybe for the moment. Is there one out of Li Auto, XPeng, and NIO that you think could be a little bit stronger going into the new year?
The answer is yes, they'll remain strong. There'll be a lot of interest. Their sales will continually meet expectation. My problem still remains I go to get gas and I'm paying $2.12 a gallon. So I look at the New Jersey Turnpike once a week and I see no more than maybe a half a dozen either hybrids or Teslas.
So still some work to do, and still some,
Yes.
still some room to grow for this group going into the new year. Great stuff, Mark. We'll bring in Neil and Sean here to talk some more individual names.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, Mark.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
It's fantastic to see you again, and obviously you came out immediately with some fire here on Alibaba. So I want to, if I can, I want to quickly jump right back over to that. You said 247 was your chance to short. Talon proves you wrong. That's certainly going to be the case for you. Now, my first question is, obviously it's sort of a weird circumstance here with Jack Ma. And I don't think there's any tiptoeing around it here. As a short-term trader, I can get behind that Alibaba could be a bit of a fade here. But if you're shorting this stock and then this guy shows up tomorrow, aren't you going to get like 5% in your face instantaneously? That was my first thought when I was riding on the train this morning. Was thinking to myself, if you're short this and then this guy pops his face in, or something comes back to normal, or this all ends up being nothing, it's going to get a bit of a bump. So what are your thoughts in regards to that? And do you think that there was some of this rumor possibly baked into any of the pullback, or was it strictly it's the comments he said, it's the investigation, it's the regulation? Is that still the whole story?
It just, you know what it is? You're dealing with a foreign government. You're dealing with capitalists within a foreign government that traditionally have not allowed expansion other than through Hong Kong. And all of a sudden a Jack Ma comes around, who is a early school teacher in his life and now becomes a multi-billionaire. It was not a surprise that the Chinese would try to put their thumb on the button, so to speak. At this point, I don't know if his appearance is going to make a huge difference, but I use 247 as my reckoning point. And at this point, whether you stay neutral or you go long for a day trade, I don't know. But it's not my high interest. Also, with the delisting of various names on the New York Stock Exchange, that's also putting a little bit of fear into the equation.
Okay, interesting thoughts. I mean, for sure, as a day trade for me, I like that level for a bit of a fade, but obviously that goes without saying with a bit of the gap down. If we got there, I'd probably be looking at like a 245 to try to short in front of that. There's a couple of upgrades and downgrades this point of the year, and we already talked about the initiations, but one of the names that I thought was going to come into a possible, I shouldn't say thought, because it could still, was going to come into a bit of a catalyst, was Boeing here. And obviously there's some tariff concerns with regards to the EU, and we could see a little bit of that resolved coming in the first quarter. It has been falling back in here. I think patience has certainly been worthwhile, because we might still get a shot to get back down to like a 200 to wait around. So what are your thoughts overall on Boeing? Is it time to dip in? The calendar's rolled over. I've been thinking hold off until we get to 200. What are your thoughts when it comes to Boeing?
I would hold off to 195 to 200 and see what happens. At this point, you've got a number of funds that are going to either be covering shorts, going long for the new year, but once that liquidity period sort of dries up a bit, if you will, because I see the volume, except for the last 3 days, has been on a steady decline as the stock is coming in. That concerns me that there's more to the downside.
Yeah, and just sort of exaggerating the volume so that our viewers can see, it absolutely has been tapering off. And I like patience, it certainly makes sense, but it's starting to get close to that point to dip in there. I know a few names Sean wants to talk about here, so I'm going to throw you over him. Thanks again, always, Mark.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Mark, thanks for talking about Alibaba there. I mean, I think that Alibaba eventually, I'm with you. I think it's the political, headwinds and tailwinds and that push and pull that stock moving forward now. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with their business model. I just think that dealing with the CCP and stuff like that, I better keep my mouth shut or I may go missing. But if I'm in a cell, if I'm in a cell with Jack Ma, that might not be a bad thing. Let's talk about our own little Robin Hoods here that rob from the rich, give to the poor, whatever. Peter Thiel and Palantir right here. Palantir's been a pretty good stock lately. It's been heading to the south side. It is trying to build a base. I can call up a daily chart if it works. Hopefully it does. Yes, it does. And it's just the last month, it's been doing pretty much nothing, bouncing from 23, 24 up to 29 and right back here to $24. I stamped my own initiation and coverage on this thing back sub 10. So it was a great little move to the north side there, as many of our viewers know, trading it with us along on the show. But right now, it doesn't seem to want to get going. There was a deal they made today with SOMPO, Real Data Platform Security, Health, and Well-Being. So another deal for Palantir today. Can it get out of its own way here and finally making moves? I like this 24.50 level, possibly to the upside. But any opinions on our good friend Palantir today?
The 50-day moving average came into the spotlight in the last few weeks. I'm going to use that as my target point, which is 21.5.
Yep.
So I'm looking for it somewhere in that 21, 22 area to start to nibble.
Yeah, I agree. That's what we've been saying to everybody. My 50 period, I guess it's still got to load here a little bit, but yeah, we're at 20.5, but 21.5 makes a lot of sense, and then there's that 22 area. One more stock before we go, because I know it's another name that we've talked about before, and I think it's probably on your watch list, and that is Mr. Donkey Kong themselves. DraftKings now with the NFL, and sorry about the Giants and the Jets. I don't know if that means anything to you, but we're happy about the Bills on this side, as it's only an hour and a half away from Toronto, of course, Buffalo. So that's really nice, and that they're in the playoffs now. So rest in peace to the other New York teams, and Western New York carrying the way. What about DraftKings right here, though? I have it basically right at its 50-period moving average right now. A nice little consolidation spot. A big drop from 55. To be honest with you, Mark, was not expecting this kind of a move, especially with NBA coming back, college football getting into the bowl season now, and then NFL in the highest gambling part that we're in right now as well with the playoffs. Baseball hopefully coming back. So I don't know. What's your take here on DraftKings moving forward?
I'm very bullish. Penn or DraftKings should be in one's portfolio for the long term. I happen to pick DraftKings a bit higher than where we are today, but this is a level that I like a lot.
So you would so is there a reason Penn versus DraftKings? Is it? I know Penn has physical casinos. This is what we have up right now. Penn goes up to 100, drops back to 85. So I think the percentage drop back in both DraftKings and Penn relatively the same, except for we have a little bit more of a way to go to the 50-period moving average. To me, that's why I would prefer DraftKings. I just feel like it's come down. It's trying to make this base right here. We do have a top 45. I think you could start aggressively buying DraftKings now, but is there a reason preferring DraftKings over Penn? I know some of our viewers, there's really only the two names, right? Unless I'm missing something here in the gambling.
There's one other, it's called GAN. That's your third name. But outside of those three, there really aren't others. But you hit it on the head. Penn was a bit ahead of itself. More volume interest, more liquidity interest. DraftKings slipped back. DraftKings is at a sweeter spot for me.
Right.
But that's really the only reason. I just want to be involved in the portfolio.
Yeah, and GNOG, of course, Golden Nuggets. So we'll talk about that later on. Okay, thank you, Mark. If I don't see you again for a long time, you know where I am. Don't come find me is my tip for anybody out there as well. But thank you, Mark, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
No one's going missing around here, we hope anyways. Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, a pleasure as always. Best of luck heading into the new year. We'll speak on Wednesday.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
There we go, guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you sign up for the watch list. Absolutely free to you every single morning. We send it out to your inbox every day before we come on at 8:30. Let's jump into what is moving around in the pre-market. Yeah, let's start things off with Tesla. 481,261 is what was expected from analysts. On the delivery side, they come in at 499,550. So topping estimates, but they didn't quite get to that 500,000 mark, guys.
Okay, I mean, what? Splitting hairs there. They cracked 180 on the quarter, so there you go. I think that was a big number. This stock it's gotten absolutely crazy here. Obviously, we're past that sort of we're well past that 700 level, which was a good one when you actually go back pre-split. And then go 10x from there. We talked about that last week. It's going to be a break at some point, and I do feel like if it's going to be today, that 728 it doesn't really stick out like a sore thumb. I'm filing away, and I'm just because prices mattered pre-split and held up. I'm watching like when it gets there, 787. Like trust me, it's just one of those things that I saw it a couple of times on the way up pre-split, and I'll be watching that level if we get close to it. There was a fantastic little reversal. Got to go there first, and we're 10 times before we get to that price. I'm looking for 700. If we can get anything like in the 0405 range, maybe on a dip, and then support that even price, fantastic. Otherwise, you're looking at a quarter break right now. I've never been great at breakout trades on Tesla, so I'll look to see if I can't buy that little dip there. We'll talk about some of the small caps in a little bit. You'll see like a bunch of them pop on my screen. I'm only in a couple. A couple of them were just in and out. A little bit of activity in the pre-market there at about 7 o'clock. But Tesla, I really want that dip into 700 to give us one last crack at it, Sean.
I mean, we're exactly now. Yeah, I would play some dips, and we talked about that. I was the other day. I was like, oh my God, why did I drop? You guys remember I had those 670s on. Oh man. Okay, so pre-split here on our charts. I mean, this is the real stuff here. So 2,300 pre-split. So that was in August. Tesla was at 2,300. You times this guy by 5 right now, and you're at 3,600. So from 2,300 to 3,600 in a matter of 4 months for Tesla, and just keeps getting stronger and stronger. Look, and nothing's going to stop this stock. You know, they have the Berlin Gigafactory opening up and hopefully rocking and rolling. We talked to Randy about some of the incentive programs that are going on. The EU's about to hopefully launch even a bigger one. We'll see if the UK can get an EU incentive going as well. And then they've just recently announced, I think it was, what was it, 3 months free autonomous driving, which is something anyways, to help people make the decision to choose Tesla. But like Mark said, maybe there's not even enough of them on the road yet. So this could still go. I mean, the more people like my kids want to buy Teslas, I mean, they're only 8 years old, but so it doesn't matter. But the point is that I think it's going to be more of a cult name then than it even is now, which I'm not even sure if that's possible. But Tesla, Brendan, I would just say we just keep on buying weakness here. There was a nice level 715 all Thursday here before we did break down. So 715, look for that to hold. And then there's Neil's 700 that did hold on Thursday evening.
All right, guys, we'll have a look at a full slate once again of upgrades and downgrades going into the open this morning. A couple on this side of the board that are a little bit interesting. AT&T with some news last week in regards to Dish. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. We'll have a look at AT&T. Under Armour on here as well. Some apparel makers a little bit stronger once again in the pre-market. Coke and Pepsi on that side of the board. Neil mentioned Boeing as well. Full percent to the downside for Boeing, guys.
Yeah, and look, it's one of those things, and it's not like Boeing has a tremendous amount of pre-market volume or anything like that to stand out. I just know that it's a bit of a popular name. I feel like this month it's going to have some activity to it. A couple of people have asked about Bingo, and yeah, my general thoughts on Bingo is BNGO. Is that it's very, very strong. I've tried a couple of times to short that one, and you know what? I can just quickly go to it so you guys can see. We're gapping up heavily again, up 60%. It has all the signs in the world. It started to roll over. I tried some shorts. I had some success, and then took a couple of hits in the last two. So 4 shorts, and essentially 4 shorts, and you know, sort of batting 500 on it. But I'm slightly down because the last one, not a good look. 520 is going to be a bit of a level. If it does break through there, I anticipate at this point, given the strength it's showing, it's likely to break that high at some point today. 480 certainly has been a bit of a level the last half an hour, so it would have to be below that price, probably below 460 for me to like the shorts. or maybe test that top. So for those of you watching bingo, the volume again is going to be crazy. The volatility again is already crazy, and the stock looks very strong this morning.
Okay, like QuantumScape here today. I just messaged you, Brendan, about this one. I mean, this is just getting crushed. I think I'm gonna do. We can obviously more work needed on QuantumScape here before I just recommend buying this thing. But you're down 24% here, $65. I love this name. It's solid state batteries, but it came with tons and tons of hype around it, and we had topped out 106, 108 here. That is QS on a daily chart here as well. Sorry, topped out. That was last week. Topped out 130, 140, 130, 138 in change. So now you pull back more than 50% back down. You are getting down near this 56 level, $60 here. I thought they had a deal with Volkswagen and stuff, so I don't know, but I just read something on Twitter, 0 revenues they reported or something. So anyways, more work needs to be done on QS, but definitely, I mean, look at this thing, $74. And since I've sat down here, it was like 70, 74, 75, $72 I saw this thing at. Now we're just keep tanking down to 63 and change. So watch out for QuantumScape here, guys. Just continues to march down. Like we thought Alibaba was a little bit in trouble, but watch out for QS. Brendan, and when you have something on this one, we will, I guess look at it a little more serious, but 2.3 million shares. We did have it here on the imbalance locator. That's sort of what first brought my attention to it when I opened it up and then looked at it. So more work needed. NEO's still high up there, but Palantir bid, QS sell, XPEV bid, some of the banks bid, IPOC to social, Clover Health up there as well. So it's going to be a fun day, Brendan.
Yeah, nothing too significant that I'm seeing at the moment. There were some general analyst comments when it comes to the actual technology still requiring, some hurdles to be passed before it gets out. When I speak of, the solid state battery technology that they're developing, but nothing significant. I'll keep my eye though for QS news. Let's go to NIO, guys. The next one on the list here. Yeah, full year 2020 delivery numbers and December numbers and Q4 numbers, all topping estimates by significant numbers. Grab the watch list, guys. You can have a look at the individual numbers themselves. But NEO, very, very strong once again today.
Yep, and NEO's going to, NEO I think is just going to continue to be strong, guys. 51.30, 51.40, just looks like it wants to keep running. There's the imbalance. We just talked about that, so you can see that 2 million shares there on imbalance with a 200,000, so it was 2 million at one point, trying to get paired off. What we've seen with NEO is, of course, a drop off the open, so I'm still looking for that same little drop to happen once again here. We saw it happen even on Thursday. Here's the market opening up. We dropped down to 47, let's call it $48, and then we rip up to 50 and change before dropping again. So we're going to try to, and if we zoom in, we're going to try to catch this kind of a move where you drop down and then you take off. So we do have a little bit of a possibility there. A drop down to me would be something around it. And again, I put it on here, $50 as the bottom. There it is, $50 bottom. NEO breaking through 51. We already broke through 51. So I was sort of hoping that we would hover around here. Again, we made the list, back down here, 8 o'clock-ish. So we'll wait to see what happens now. But 51.50 is the new high. I think we take it out. Lots of great numbers there coming from NEO, coming from XPEV, and coming from Li Auto. So the rally continues in these names. I'm going to be long. Just got to pick a spot and hopefully don't get run over in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't reached those all-time highs. That's the key thing there. And I liked a couple of prices here just going back into last year. I'm going to keep saying that because it's just fun to say. Of course, last week, 515 to 530. If that's the first bit of consolidation or rollover on a snap down, I'd try that one first. Below that, I had 49.90 to 50, allowing for it to break that $50 area. But those are definitely the two to watch. So NEO, for me, it's going to be the dip buy. I like the same sort of thing on Tesla as well. But NEO, probably the better day. I shouldn't say probably. The better day trade. It kind of goes without saying. It's just been a better day trade recently, so I'd probably stick to that one on the dip.
All right, guys, we'll continue along here. We mentioned it with Mark briefly, but Palantir picking up another contract, this one $22.5 million worth for 1 year. That's the significant point. SOMPO Holdings, which is a Japanese company. It's a healthcare company. The data will be used to improve the healthcare that they can provide and their platform in which they do so. PLTR, once again, to the upside, guys.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I mean, this is not much of an upside, 1.5%. It was up a lot more, not a lot more, but it was up a little bit more in the pre-market there. Forget about these wicks to 24.50. But that's the levels that I kind of like is 24.50. I would much rather obviously buy this thing was up a lot more, not a lot more, but it was up a little bit more in the pre-market there. Forget about these wicks to 24.50. But that's the levels that I kind of like is 24.50. I would much rather obviously buy this thing into the lows, but like we've talked about, let's call it the 3-minute chart here just quickly to show you. You have to pick your spots. And again, it's not going to load back that far, but you're going to have to pick your spots on Palantir. You know, there's been some good opportunities to get long on this name, but really the trend has not been your friend if you've been a bull on Palantir. And here's the last couple of days. This is where I thought we were going to break out again past 30, but this is like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's basically 4 tops. I mean, there's more than 4 here, but you can call it a triple top, whatever you want. 1, 2, 3 up here at 29.50. Those look to be amazing shorts. If we get back up there, you could try your luck again. But at the same time, we kind of are basing out here as well. So I was thinking the same thing as Mark. Mark had it down here at 21.50. My 50 period is right here about 21. So I don't know if we're not taking in consideration. Maybe he's taking in consideration some past data before that. But we're going to wait here on 21.50. But I like 22.50 to start building a position. I think you can even maybe get there today on momentum. But I like it breaking out past this 24.50 level. We did have a bottom right there on Thursday or on Wednesday, and then on Thursday with New Year's Eve, that was the bottom before we broke it, and then it made the move all the way down there in the pre-market. So yeah, I think if we get back to 24.50, we do have some base there, and I think we can break through this, what once was support, now going to be resistance to the upside, and I think we can definitely try that 24.50, 24.60 level, but you got to get past this 24.20 first. So let's take a small long through 24.20, and then watch out 23.50 through the bottom.
Yeah, I probably can't say anything past there, except I like 23.50 the short side. I can't get to the 21.22 without breaking to the downside. So I wouldn't hesitate to at least look at a breakdown short. But definitely scalp it because this stock, when it starts to go, it can get rather crazy in Palantir. Guys, Occugen just broke to the downside. Like 380 was a big level. I might have put that in the chat there. I actually added to a short position. You'll see it on the board. So I added to my short when it broke 380. This one's sliding back in, and BNGO breaking the high. So just said it was strong. It's even stronger than I thought, Brennan.
All right, guys, let's bring in Arun here. We'll have a look at the future, see what levels we need to be aware of when it comes to the overall market. I mean, another day, another new high, Arun. I don't know, something seems different this morning.
Yeah, and it's
anything
a new year. We
changed
start
at all?
off differently in the new year. So let's just jump right into the markets here. We're up a decent amount. You know, it's when the market moves like this, it's kind of tough to gauge exactly how much further it's going to go because, I mean, there's nothing to the upside. So the only level I've got is 37.60 on the downside, which is fairly close. If we can get above 37.65 and settle in, I think we have a chance of taking a shot with the 37.60 support base. And then if we break below that, I think I'm going to go ahead and go take a short with 37.75 as a stop, all the way down to 37.35, which is the next level. So there's a couple of areas to keep in mind. It's also the first day of the year, just like the close on the 31st was quite active as expected. It's going to be the same, I would assume, right? It's the first day of the new year, and there's a lot of changes that still need to be completed or undone from last year. So I would expect the closes at least this week to be extra exciting, especially today. So 37.60 is the first level, 37.35 is the second level. There's nothing over the top unless we break 37.60, at which point then the 37.75 comes into play as the overhead level. But in terms of if you get along and you let it go past 37.75, there is no targets. You just let it go and ride the wave at that point.
Great stuff for Arun. We'll check back in tomorrow as we head towards the open here. We have less than 30 minutes to go, guys, before we get to the open. Let's continue along with the watch list. We got down to Palantir. So Roku next. Roku talking with Quibi when it comes to acquiring their streaming library. Now, we learned, I think it was about a month ago or maybe 2 months ago, that Quibi was going to shut down. So this is now Roku trying to pick up some streaming content here, guys.
Roku's already monstrous. And I thought they had a lot of streaming platforms, but yeah, nice one. I don't know much about Quibi. I've never really used a Roku, but I do want to thank for sure Daniela. Thank you so much for that super chat. And the best team of traders on any media, why, thank you. We take all these kind words to heart, so thank you so much. And a happy new year to you and yours as well, Daniela. But okay, so Roku right now, 342. Yeah, again, a lot of these stocks have just been getting beat down in the last week or so. I mean, although I can't believe Roku's actually at $342. But hey, man, like, the market will tell us what these stocks are worth, right? So 340, 342. I think you could break out from this. I mean, a little bit of momentum coming into this space. It's been here for a while. You can see Roku. I mean, pretty choppy the last couple days. So there's really nothing here on a 3-minute chart that I like. I mean, obviously, if you get back to 330, there might be something there. I think if we get back to 330, there's a little more problems than we think with that deal. But again, I don't think there's anything to worry about with Roku. This is what I mean. 364, the high. And then the last couple days, like you saw Chewy come off, you saw Roku come off, you've seen some of these high flyers, Neo, XPeng, Li Auto, some of the high flyers come off lately, and Roku just part of that group. So I don't really see too much here. For me, it's just more the stock is going to be on watch. You could take out this 342.50. I mean, it's a dollar spread, so that probably will get taken out right off the open. I'm not going to shed a tear missing this trade, though, because again, I just think it's a slippery slope. You do get some consolidation. If you are long this name and you're saying, where do I get out? I think there's an opportunity to see if it holds 336 area right here. If it doesn't hold this area, then obviously I think you retest down here, 334, and then you got to watch out for 330. But with the market, look, it's starting to get weak, but I mean, you're still up 0.4% and the exact same on the ES. So I still look for a strong Roku, but I'm not in love with the chart.
Yeah, it's hard. You look at this and it's Roku basically pulling from the top back, almost like 10% before catching a little bit of a bounce. It just feels like it might be due for a bit of a deeper pullback. So I'd look to see if that it's about like 320, 327, 328, splitting hairs. So you talk a couple of dollars in that range. I don't love the break at all on Roku. I won't be touching that 346 break, but if it does break out, I'd watch that 350 level and then maybe see if there's something worth jumping into. I mean, obviously, it's been to your chagrin if you've been shorting this name, but some consolidation near the top now and starting to slow down. It could be due for a bit of a turn, and I'd look to see if that happens at 350. I'd be much more enthused if there was a big seller there too.
All right, guys, we had Li Auto on the watch list as well after delivery numbers, but also XPeng, XPEV, worth having a look at this morning as well. Not on the list this morning. Was doing very, very low volume in the pre-market. Still, we're up actually more on this one. XPEV 7% versus Li Auto. Now, in both cases, delivery numbers much better than expected. Once again, right across the board. There are some significant levels for both guys, so maybe we can look at XPEV and Li here.
Yeah, I think in terms of XPeng here, just looking obviously at the daily chart, you can sort of get a bit of a ramp off of 40, passing that 50 period that we all know and love, and is going to be interesting to us. And it's this level. I'm looking at 47.5 as a bit of a price where you might have a bit of resistance if it does get there, and it's gotten a lot closer than I thought it was going to. So about a buck off the pre-market highs at 47.50. Above this, like 44.70. If you look at this, it's going into last year. That high on the week, that is definitely going to be a significant level. If this thing pulls back and breaks that 40.70, it's going to be difficult for me not to play it to the short side. I'll probably take a quick little stab. We have seen dip buys be fantastic, so I would have a very, very tight stop if I shorted this, probably back at 45 even. But you look at a level like that, and if it can't hold, I just feel like you're likely to get a nice little floodgate action. And even if it's a buck, you're talking 3 to 1 if you only give it that 30 pennies into the 45 level. So XPeng's the one that I'm going to be watching. And if I play a short today, it's likely to be in XPeng and not in Neo or Li Auto.
So with these numbers and the momentum in these names, I like a 46 break to the long side, but obviously we're going to be watching out. This 45 bottom was there. There's possibly making a bottom rate now at 45.50. What time is it? We still have so long, man. There's still 17 minutes to go. So, look, I'm going to look at XPEV. I'm going to look at them all long just to play the momentum right now. Li Auto, obviously, on NASDAQ, LI. I wrote down a 31 level when these charts get going here. 30.80 to the high side, that's where we've been at. But look at the daily chart here on Li Auto, if we can. There it is here. So again, it kind of reminds me a little bit. There's some DraftKings or some Palantir action where you get a little bit of a high here of $33.80, $34, had a couple times, $34, $35, a couple times trying to beat that. And then we talked about what happened to some of these names over the last couple weeks, just getting beat up a little bit downside. And then you have the rhetoric with the Chinese government still. I'm just making some jokes earlier. Someone said, "Where am I going?" It was just a joke. Hopefully, anyways, about Jack Ma and me. But $30.50 here. I like 31 break on Li Auto just because that was the high. But there's really nothing here on Li Auto. I do prefer. I just talked about it because we mentioned it there. I do prefer XPEV breaking through 46 and/or looking at some momentum on this name, because here you go. It makes that bottom. The chart is a little different. We're above here the 50 period on, this is XPEV, above here on the 50 period on XPEV, and now looking to make some moves higher. So I don't know. I think we could retest 55, 56 this week probably up here, but first you got to get through 50. So first you got to get through 46. So I like a 46 break here. I think it's a little foolish not to try it at least, and then be very aware that you might get a buck out of it, $1.50, but you got to give the risk reward back down to 45. So just trade accordingly. I don't think it'll be too spicy here today off the open, but we could, and the reason why, 300,000 shares. If you're going to look at something off the open, NIO now pulling back in, going to give us that 51 break. So let's just wait to see on NEO. But with 50 minutes left, XPEV and NEO definitely. XPEV, NEO, Palantir, all going to be looked at by me very, very closely in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, and we've seen these trades before. It's almost, it is a monthly occurrence now when these three or this group comes out with these delivery numbers and they are better than expected. Typically, you get that positive reaction. Let's go to the vaccine world next. We'll talk about AstraZeneca. A little bit of attention around Moderna this morning as well, some minor headlines, but AstraZeneca's UK rollout of their COVID-19 vaccine underway as of today. They also got India gave approval, emergency use approval for their vaccine in India. So AstraZeneca higher here. Again, I mean, Moderna, a little bit of minor attention here in the pre-market, but AstraZeneca seems to be a little bit stronger so far.
Just quickly, I'm laughing here because of Russell Jackson. Thanks you. And what up to Russell Jackson? Happy New Year. The Chinese military is training in Toronto region over the winter, so you might want to watch out. So yeah, I'm going to change my tone there. But why the hell are they? Why the Chinese military is not training in Toronto? That's ridiculous. Unless I'm wrong, and then here we go. Now I'm going to get arrested again. But I was just laughing at that. Brendan, I apologize. I'm going to throw it over to Neil as I missed the name. Oh, it's AstraZeneca. I'm nothing on a lot of these plays. If anything, I'd look at Moderna just because it moves more.
Moderna definitely moves more, and don't worry, Sean, Arun will get your back. He's like the team bodyguard here, so I think you'll be fine. Nothing's gonna happen.
Well, he's on payroll for a reason, so
knock on some wood there. But AstraZeneca, unless you're usually fading this news, and you've seen what happens like day in day out, 51.50 has been a level, 52 obviously a big level there. So if I had a shot to short it off 51.50, I probably would go ahead and do it. But you've seen each time at the open, trouble getting back to those prices for you to be able to fade any positive news that came in. This was all expected in terms of the rollout, guys. I'm going to quickly go here to OCGN, Ocugen, just because I did mention it, but just so you guys can see on the chart, there was a buyer at 380. I was already short off this $4 level, and then getting out in front of 380, and then of course adding to the position here. It's all of my shorts at 4 are gone now, so I just have the 376.5. Price. I got a bit of a midpoint fill, so that was fantastic. And just taking it out towards 350. No real actionable news here that I could find that should be moving the stock. This was in play, of course, last week. Now, last year, it was $1.80. This is up 90%. It was up over 100%. I really do think $3 isn't ridiculous if it were to start to come back in here. BNGO is a totally different beast. The volume about the same, but BNGO is just, there's so much buying, every single dip gets bought in that stock, whereas it's been the opposite here in OCGN.
Yeah, the news on Ocugen was more COVID related. They teamed up with that Bharat Biotech in India. That company's vaccine was also given India's approval, emergency use approval over the weekend. So Ocugen and Bharat teaming up to get U.S. approval for. So there's a combination there in there somewhere. That's part of the reason that Ocugen was higher. Let's talk about Penn National, guys. We touched on it briefly with Mark Roberts. Penn National announcing this morning that CFO David Williams will step down, 20-year gaming industry vet Felicia Hendricks named executive VP and CFO. Not huge headlines, but a little bit of attention this morning on Penn.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about Mark with this. I prefer DraftKings for liquidity reasons. So does he. Not only that, I mean, the price of Penn, $85. Doesn't look like they care too much. Again, a lot of these management changes, especially at such a higher level, probably known about, unless this was some kind of a surprise. It doesn't look like it. Only down that 1.5%. And I just keep saying about Penn and DraftKings that I am surprised at this pullback. But then again, like we said, some of the high flyers recently, like, it was just $74 December 14th. So we're still at $85 right now. That's only 2 weeks later. So 3 weeks, I guess. Nothing to really worry about. I prefer DraftKings. So if you're looking at Penn here, again, consolidation back to 75. I think we can get there. So I'd be careful about that one. Not sure how important the CEO role in that company was. Obviously, they have Dave Portnoy and whatnot with Barstool. But here is DraftKings. It looks a little bit more, setting up for a long from here for me. You do come back to 44 and change, 43. I like that play. We're right at the 50 period right now. It's right at the bottom of this consolidation. I like DraftKings for a move to the high side there. And maybe even today, you get 47.80 standing in your way. To me, the catalysts are there and it's not moving properly. So I'm not going to put a lot of effort or time into DraftKings. But if you're not long this name, I think it's got to be in your portfolio. It's in mine. We just got to wait for this to once again get back to 50, 55 and take out some of those highs. So I'm bullish on both, more bullish on DraftKings than on Penn. But I'd go long both of them. But I don't know for a day trade right now.
Yeah, I mean, the other name we talked about was GAN. It was last week, and I think Mark briefly mentioning it. I think that's another one you can sort of put into the pipe and smoke it if you want, for lack of a better term. But it's not nearly as volatile. It certainly hasn't been as much volume as well, but this has been in the upswing, as we mentioned last week. I like if it comes back to like a 19-20 area. Potential through the high of the day. And again, this has not flown as much, so it's a little bit of a less volatile name that you're probably getting at a little bit better of a price if you want to be involved in the gaming space. The more of a gaming solutions and technology provider for these companies. So it's worth a look. I'd much prefer it below $20 if you can get it at 19. There's really no breakouts to be had in it as a day trade, but in any pullback, you're probably looking at, if it gives you like 5% on any kind of a dip, I think there's room to run to this 25 mark in the upcoming week. So another way to play the overall space here, guys.
The little ones moving around this morning, guys, as far as small cap and micro cap world are concerned. We'll talk about Inovio Pharmaceuticals here. One-time high flyer when the pandemic started in the initial race for a vaccine. They teamed up with a company called Advacine for an exclusive partnership to commercialize their vaccine candidate in China. So teaming up with Advacine. I know it's already come all the way back here. Not a lot of attention so far.
Yeah, and this is kind of a disappointing one because I was looking to fade off of this level, and just again going into last year's price action, this 930 level was very interesting. You already gapped above it, and there was some consolidation. This rollover, I was already involved in a couple of names, so I didn't want to take this on low volume. It's done 500,000 shares pre-market, whereas NCTY, which I'm in, 3.5 million. BNGL 33 million and OCGN like 25 million. So probably not going to be the top of the list in terms of the pre-market trading. But I like that level. If we bounce off it, that could be interesting. But it's already basically back to previous close. So the trade in INO might be done unless you find some bid support at that 885 close from last week. I don't know if there's going to be much here. I would definitely short a pop into that 930 for sure.
Yeah, I know. Again, I'm not distracted. I'm just really trying to focus here on what's happening. Palantir right now coming back. I'm not in any positions whatsoever, but we do have now 7 minutes to go. I believe Valeria will be on the bell probably today. 23.50 coming into play here on Palantir. I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. You got to watch out for this level. If you look at a daily chart, and again, everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's going to be a big show here today, as long as we can get our hands. The thing is, it's 22 degrees here, and I've called for help. It's blowing freezing cold air, honestly. Now, I can tell because my coffee all of a sudden went from a cold, warm brew to a cold brew, like a nitro cold or something. Shout out to Starbucks there. Okay, 23.50. This is a level that we bounced off of on Thursday, so watch out for that on Palantir. I just wanted to get to that because we are coming down. And then a quick little shout to the balance locator. I know a lot of you like that. MUX, okay, I don't know what that is. A dollar stock, okay, so we'll ignore that. NEO on here. AMC, we didn't talk about that yet. Everything gold seems to be a good popular trade these days. And then there's our quantum skate, man. What? now $59. So I know, Brendan, you weren't able to find anything, but I think that there's 5 million shares done on Mr. QS here. I'm just thinking here that if I'm mistaken, maybe I am, but I thought Volkswagen and these guys did have some kind of a deal. I'm wondering if this has fallen out now. You see 130 the last couple days. I was liking this stock. We talked about picking some up if and ever we got back to 60. I've logged into my account, ready to pull the trigger on some buys on QuantumScape. But if we get to 40, then we're buying this stock for sure. But it's hard to buy something when you don't really know what's going on. And we don't put Brendan on the spot. If you see something, he sees something. But right now, guys, let us know if you see anything. I know, so some people in the chat here, this is why we love the chat, like, lockup period ending. I don't think that's it. That seems to be a little too much for lockup period, but maybe it is, and the insiders know more, as per usual, than we do, Brendan.
Yeah, it's an interesting move anyways to the downside. Still nothing significant that I can see. I mean, if it was regarding that Volkswagen news, you would think there would be it would be all over the place, but yeah, I can't see anything of that nature yet. But we'll keep our eyes open for all things QuantumScape. Let's talk about actually the 9 limited first. Then we'll go to BNGO because that one's a fun one always. The 9 limited NCTY. The last time, guys, if we go back to the last time Bitcoin was at all-time highs, there was one stock per day almost that came out and said they're getting into cryptocurrencies or blockchain in some way, shape, or form. The 9 Limited is that stock today, announcing a deal to get into cryptos.
At least their name is cool. I love that. I mean, look, we talked about this. We've talked about this a couple of times before, and just certainly anytime you have moves like what are happening in crypto, and specifically with Bitcoin, you're going to see stories like this. You can probably guess by the positions that I have already decided to fade this name. Anytime I see this type of news cause, and I'll go to the daily chart so you can see, cause this type of a parabolic move. The stock was already a bit of an upward trend, so it was already extending pretty far. If I see this sell off the way that it did at 7 o'clock, without any bid in sight, I'm usually going to fade it. That means it's got some relative weakness. I basically have added 3 times here, but all baby cuts, because this stock opens up a little bit. Like, I do feel if it does make a test of like 650, decent shot to get to like a 685 or 7 before you feel like you're completely wrong. So I have to have a couple of layers to get out. 625 is going to be the first because I'm short off at the 6 level. If it goes past there, I want to re-enter and see if we can't get something in 685 to 7 range. But it already showed once that it can sell off. I showed you the daily because previous close 350, that's great, but this stock has been overextended for at least a little while now. It doesn't mean that there isn't possibly any good news here, but let's be honest. You've already seen the lack of a bid. 560 needs to open up the floodgates. If it does, I'll probably add to the short through that price at the open, but I don't want to add before 9:30. Brennan.
Okay, guys, one more before we get to the open. Couple minutes to go here. I want to talk about BNGO, Bingo, back on watch. Bio-nano-genomics, not bingo, but $5 even. A bit of a magnet so far this morning. Tested it above it, got flushed. We're right back above it again. So this one looking a little more strong than the rest so far this morning. Daily chart tells the story here. Just a week ago, this thing was a penny stock. We're now at $5 for BNGO, up another 67% on volume, guys.
I just want to give a big shout out. Yeah, BNGO. We'll be obviously trading now. We're getting our Palantir orders locked and loaded. So my crew right now getting ready. It's the first day of virtual school. They're going for a week. Here in Toronto, they're giving their public and Catholic school boards obviously an extra week there to hopefully get back settled down so that anybody meeting over Christmas doesn't bring anything back to the school. So what's up? She's really working there. He's like me, just chilling out right there. So good luck today, guys, and I wish everybody at home with their kids the best of luck as well. I do feel kind of blessed that we're able to come into work and get away from the Rugrats for a little bit and be here with you guys. So welcome to the show. Neo still again here. Wow, 2.5 million shares now. Normally, guys, I would be all over this trying to take out out these highs right now on NIO, but we got to wait because, again, I feel like we could fall down. We have some bids in the 80s, some bids in the 70s. Let's see if we can't protect that $50. And then if we do, great. But NIO right now, 7 million shares. Palantir also on watch. So I'm giving you guys the trades that I'm going to take here. 24.20, watch out for that break. 24.35, another one. 24.50 to the high side. We are watching this 23.50 bottom on Palantir. And then after that, one name that we didn't get to yet, which is strange. We always get to these names. Carnival Cruise Lines, we beat this one like a drum there on Thursday, shorted off, before the open right here, and then shorted again on this 21.40 break. And guess what, man? We've got 21.40 on the eyes again right here on the sticky note. So 21.40 at the bottom there for CCL. So let's rock and roll with that. I don't think these wicks actually happened, but we do like 21.40 from Friday. So less than a minute to go here. If Randy was here, he'd fix the thermostat, but he is not. So take care of Clyde, my friend. Hopefully he didn't eat the key because then we'd never get it back.
Yeah, it is a little bit chilly in here, but warming up was at BNGO. Did a bit of a top break here. I just scalped some. It was a 25 to like 30 and never really went any further. But because it's relatively strong, I might be playing a little bit of a dip into $5 as well. I'm only going to hold like about 40% of this position to the long side and see if it was want to give me a dip buy. But it's time to drop the countdown for the first time this year. 2021 is about to open up in the markets, and we are live as always. Miss V on the bell. Let's go. Market 3, 2, and 1. And immediately retesting that top is the NGO. So it goes right down to like 520 and then retests at 525. I'm still looking at XPeng trying to bounce to the downside here. 44.70 going to be that short entry. But first things first, BNGO. Will it hold $5? Is it worth the dip buy?
I don't know, but here comes NIO, and we're going to see if we can get some longs right now. There we go. So now we're long a little bit here at 85. So we'll wait now. NIO long 85. This is the plan, man. We're going to give it back down to 50 here. So if it goes through 50, great. But we can take that long off the open. A nice little instant win there, up to 51. So let's just wait to see 13 pennies in. We're not going to take it, but if you wanted it, that play worked a little bit there. But we're not doing anything. We're going to wait to see if it goes through the roof here, giving it all the way back down to 50.20, I guess, here, guys.
Yeah, and BNGO does not hold a top, but does not hold that bid. Neither does OCGN here, which just got absolutely crushed. $3 already coming into play. So this one is absolutely going to the downside. Watch out for NCTY, the 9 holding $6 right now. I want to add to that position on the short side, but OCGN, look, this was the weaker one of the names. Certainly it's proving that to be true. Fantastic start to the day already. I'm still looking for, I thought NIO 50-30, but I guess it's not going that far.
No, it doesn't appear to be. We can take a, well, maybe. We can take a Palantir here, maybe 23.47 or so on a break. Let's just wait to see what Palantir, oops, I'm still on NIO. There it goes, Palantir breaks there. So we take some shorts there on 23.50. Sorry about that. So now we are short. We gave you that 23.50 level. I don't love the short on this one. Much happier with NIO right now exploding. 51.50, a nice little win here. Let's take some out. We just go longer on NIO. Big win to start the day here, guys.
And Li Auto, the other one too, guys, making a bit of a push back to the upside, delaying, but it was XPeng that I wanted to try the short on. And of course, it immediately snaps down, takes that 44.75 area. And you're going to see it right here back at 45. I said that's what I wanted to get out at, so I just did. Brendan, what's up there, bud?
UAVS, guys, the drone maker, we've looked at this one many times. They actually announced an offering right before the open there. This actually happened, got a big flush down to 5, but look at this, right back up to $6. Still negative, but an offering for UAVS, guys.
Go. Yeah, we'll take UAVS. Look at this. What a great trade again here on NIO. 50.80 bottom. We played that one exactly the way we wanted to, guys. We picked that up. Now we're $1 in the money on this one, and we take more shares at 51.50. So let's just keep on going to the high side now. We're already day goal met. Already, it's 9:32, day goal met. Let's just keep on going to the high side. We've taken some Palantir off as well. That's been a nice little winner. 23.50 out, 23.30. So good trade there. And there goes NIO to the top. Take out 52, baby. Let's go. We not unplugged. We plugged in.
And I just got some Palantir. Just broke that 23.50 to the downside. Talked about that. Looking for the short trade. It looks like it is continuing its bit of a fall. Now, obviously, if you got it right off the open, fantastic. I just scalped some out. Got some at 23.29. So we'll go Superman action there. But I got a halt The 9, NCTY. This is what I'm talking about. Like I liked it off the 650 area. It just came snapping right back in. The second I saw it about to breach this 560, I got some more short. I was already in the short position and in the money, and it's halted downside. So I am in the halt. I am short at 578. So hopefully it opens to the downside and we look even better than we are now. Brendan?
Just double checking on this halt for NCTY, guys. It hasn't actually popped up yet, but typically when that happens on a volatility halt, that is instant. So this one, I'll let you know as soon as it comes in, but could be news pending, guys.
Guys, we're just absolutely monstrous right now. I don't care if you like belly dancing or not. We're now 3 times our daily goals right now. CCL, monster trade on CCL, guys. Ringing this register right now. A big trade, 21.40 short. We absolutely crushed that one. Neo, hello, Neo. Bang! You know, we could be done here, guys, but the new year starting off much better than it doesn't matter. Same thing. 3 times, guys. What's up now, Mr. Producer Man wants me to go up in share size. There we go. 50-cent winner on Palantir right now. The cash cow is back in the building. Let's go. What a big day for me. I may be done right now, guys, but we're going to still trade. Monster day. Palantir, 50 cents. Neo, $1.50. CCL monster as well. Let go.
Yeah, of course, got that Palantir as well. Dollar was the name of the game here in OCGN, but it's continuing to flush. There's no reason not to hold on to it. This was a $1.83 stock. It just broke 3. You're continuing to see it fall off here. I'm probably going to see if we can't get a 250 as the bottom here. If we can get it out there, we'll take about $1.25 on the last of our shares. We did start this at 4, but the last entry 376, and I'm waiting anxiously for this NCTY to open back up. It's always tricky being caught in a halt, but at least we're in the right direction here. Brendan, what's up, bud?
BTBT, we talked about it at 25. Yeah, 29 just got broken there on BTBT, guys. Bitcoin starting to go again.
Yes, sir. Bang! What a big day this has been for me today, man. We just continue to rock and roll, man. Look at Neo. Like a glove, you could say. This has been, I wish I held them all, and then we would literally, we could be done for the week. But Neo right now, we are now at 5 times our daily goal. Neo just continues to rip up. We've just been getting some out, though, guys. CCL, 30. This is why the goal is getting hit right now. It's 30 cents now into the money. Run, money, run. Let's go. Let's just keep on going, guys. I know that we've been share sizing up lately, and thank God we wanted to start the day off and the month off right. We had 3 negative days in December, so 2 or 3 negative days in November, and now here we go, 3 for 3 to start it off as well. Welcome to everybody. We're over 10,000 people watching right now, so let's get going now. This is what we do. We do this on the regular. 3 for 3 monster trades for yours truly. Let's just keep this party humming, guys.
My question, Brendan, I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm watching SBE here switch back. I don't know if there's any news here. Their charge point deal, I don't know when that's supposed to go through, but it just broke down and 10% now. It just went short sell restricted. So I'm not going to touch this one because I don't like trading blind here, but definitely a big time mover. I'm going to quickly go back and thank you, Miss V. Got a refill on the coffee. Palantir bouncing for once off of 23. If it does try to break that price, I'll re-enter it. I only scalped it for 25 and then 50 cents. I like those levels. I like the quarters and the 50s on Palantir. If 23 goes, it's already a monster bid at that price on the bid here, and you can see it is worth a scalp here if we can get it again. Brendan?
Yeah, remember they changed that, guys. It was the end of the month. It was the end of December, but they changed that to January 15th. So they did post that, I think it was about 2 weeks ago we were talking about that. So January 15th for SBE, guys.
So I guess no new news then.
Look at what's at the bottom of the screen here, okay? So, there's been a lot of talk online. I've seen it all the time. Different traders posting their nets, people calling them out for what they're doing. This 2130, I called this 2140 level for you, right? So you guys know this is legit short. So here, how about this day maker right there? You only need one of these trades, guys. And how about Neo? I played this one exactly the way we wanted to. I said, it's coming down to 85, let's get long. And we did. We thought this was going to happen again. And bang. And then we take out the day's high, 51.50. That's a smooth sail. And then this one, boom, Palantir, possibly the best call of the day, breaking through 23.50. We take that one. And $1 now. So $1 on Palantir, multiple. You saw the multiple dollars there on Neo now coming back in. And then CCL, man, take this one to the bank. Neo by far my #1 trade, but CCL just keeps going down. You are now, guys, part of the 10,000 club. So let's go.
Yeah, let's absolutely go. I just got reloaded at 343 on OCGN. Okay, I'll take it if you're going to give it to me, which you just did. You talk about the stock. You just went to 60 pennies from 28, 280 to 340 in a matter of seconds when we're already deep in the money. And it looks like we're open back up in NCTY. And I don't mind it at all because we're opening downside. I am going to take some profit off in front of $5. It's just a prudent thing to do. If it bounces back up, I don't want this to turn into a losing trade. My short now, the re-entry only at that 562 is the bulk of my shares. If it takes out 6, I'll get out. But in the money in both of these shorts, and no reason to get out of here, Brennan.
Billy, guys, one of the ones that was moving with the Chinese names last week. We talked about Baidu, JD.com, this one as well. BILI. Look at the relative strength here. The market straight to the downside. Just broke 95 on Billy.
Yeah, market straight to the downside, and so is, I was going to say my profits, but no, that doesn't make any sense. We're straight to the upside on these ones. Look at NEO, guys. It does come back down to 51.90. We don't get any out. We're going to let this one keep going to the high side right now. And I apologize, but look, this is what we're talking about right here. You want to look at the magic stuff. There it is right there. NEO, we talked about that 51.50. I mean, we just did that. We had Palantir to the upside, but we also gave you that downside move, and then there's CCL. Look at CCL. How many stars does that have beside it right there? 3. So there you go. There's the 3 winners for you, back-to-back jacks. And yeah, we just hit 3 home runs right there. Big-time trading happening. Let's see how high NEO can go. But like I said, 4 times daily goal, and it's 940 right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it's one of those things where, I mean, personally, I'm not really terribly into goals. You take what the market gives you, but it's hard not to like what we're seeing here this morning. I'm going to quickly go back to one name which I kind of felt there'd be some action on, but I haven't really taken anything in it. Talking about GAN a little bit here, but DraftKings coming back to the downside. Now, I thought maybe you'd get a bit of a push on this particular name, and 46 was a level we liked before. It's trying to hold that bottom, and I don't like buying a dip here at 940 unless it was part of my pre-action plan. It wasn't. If we can hold this level, I might take a quick little stab at it, but looks like a bit of sell side action in DraftKings. I thought GAN would be a bit of a play to buy the dip if these stocks came in, but it hasn't fallen to that 19 mark. I'd love to get it down there. NCTY is holding a bid now. I am short at 74. It's holding 550. I might have to take some more profits because I don't want this one to run on me, Brennan.
I mentioned some of the apparel makers a little bit strong in the pre-market, guys. Retailers as well. Look at this one, BBBY, 3%. Just took out 1835 there on a big volume spike for this one, BBBY, guys.
Yeah, Bed Bath & Beyond, a great stock there. I just want to make sure everybody is understanding of one thing here. Like I'm in and out like a light here, off and on like a light, because the thing is like, look at all these outs. This is how I trade, like rapid fire here. One in, and then just because I took a shit ton of shares, so we get in there and then we get out a whole bunch. Oh, I don't think I'm allowed to say that. A whole bunch of times here on the downside, 21 and change of the downside. So right now we're 3 for 3 and just motoring. We did take some off on CCL, but now we're pretty light, man. We have like 5% of that position. We have about 10%, yes, left of NEO. Wish we had everything left on that one. But again, beggars can't be choosers. We've already put on, like I said, we've already hit our goal 4x. So that's good. And I'm with Neil, man. We're not going to stop. We're just going to keep on going here. We don't base it, but some of you guys ask, like, how many shares do you guys use? What are your daily goals? Things like that. Just understand that I just murdered mine, so hopefully you guys are there with yours as well. What up, B?
Another little one, guys. Hall of Fame Resorts popping back up here on volume. You can see volume spike coming in through this consolidation. 28% after this move way back on Thursday. Aftermarket hasn't really done much, but volume coming into this HOFV.
I like that name a little bit, but BNGO, I stayed away from it. It does look like it's trying to go back to the south side. I'm going to hold Ocugen here, but BNGO, if it can go back below this 480 mark, now I talked about 480 just before the open as being a significant level, 460 as well. If we get back below that price, I'll try to initiate a short position in it. If you didn't get that NIO, guys, you've definitely missed it at this point because 53 just got taken out. C3AI, I wanted to see if we could actually get a bit of a bullish scent on this name, but this is not what you're looking for. I didn't think we'd have a shot at this. That's why I didn't bring it up. But 115, I love this level on C3 for a bit of a dip. I really didn't think it was going to happen today, but 123 already the low, and it looks like it's still falling. 7.5% down. If it gets anywhere near 115, I think there's going to be support on C3AI. So just getting a bid ready to go there on the off chance we actually see that price.
Okay, guys, yeah, and we are just like literally cruising here. Look at Neo. Look at Neo. 53 and change, guys. The sticky note wins the day again. I mean, this is what we're giving you guys. Join us every day. Get out of here, sticky note. Join us every single day, man, as we'll just continue to do this for you. Hopefully, we'll continue to do this for you and cash in, make that money. 53 and change. Look at this bottom, 50.80, 51.50, 53.40. Sean, just hold a little longer, and then you'll make a hell of a lot more money, but that's okay. Like we said, now 5x on the day, so things moving around, guys. CCL also now at day's low, so we only have 3 trades. We're trading a little bit of ABML over there on the pink sheets, but nothing right there yet. And we are going to watch GBTC, which is Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now, not doing much, 31.8. So nothing happening there. Tesla, though, I'm hella long Tesla in my own account. Someone said I sound like a Tesla salesman. I have not traded this yet. And yeah, you don't want to be a Tesla salesman. Most of those are sold online. Wow, 4.5% again. Congratulations to my man Randy. He got out at 7.03. No FOMO there, but 7.40 and still ripping to the high side there. What up, Beep?
I am seeing a few more people now talking about QuantumScape, guys. Nothing official yet. There is no news on this yet, but they're talking about 2025 now before any kind of profit for the company is achievable. So 37% now for QS, just about to make a new low. Again, 2025 before they become profitable.
I mean, that'll do it, certainly.
Right.
But just watching the ES turn negative on the session here, guys, it's only about 20 handles or so, but a bit to the red side so far to start the day. I'm going to get back in NCTY. It did break this 580 mark, and of course, this is why you definitely take profit. It looks like it's trying to make a run at this halt range top here, that 640. I'm going to use that as a bit of an out. If I can catch a rollover, I'm going to jump back into the short. These guys, you can see in our watch list, of course, you just simply add crypto to your headline, and this is what happens. But it's already down $2 from the top, and I'll see if it can't hold this 640 to jump into a bit of a short position. And I am also looking to get back into some BNGO. I just took 480. I like it below $5. If it gets back above 5, no fighting that name to the short side, guys.
So we just got out there at a nice, well, not nice price, but we did get out 53.16 there for $2 win on Neo, and it's actually $3 if you take the bottom of this play. So that's a good trade there for me for sure. Like I said, our day is just rocking right now. We're out. We have 10% left of Palantir. We didn't get out at the very bottom there. That's embarrassing. We were just doing too many other things. We should have. Now we hold our last 10%. We're going to get out at breaking through 60, not looking great right now for that one, but what is looking great here? And again, you don't get out of Palantir because you maybe think it's going down, but I'm really happy it's going up because we are long this name. I have no long-term positions in CCL, and look what CCL is doing right here, guys. Oopsies. CCL just continues to make moves to the downside, $20.78. Let's get out a little bit more on CCL, and let's hold that last 10% and see how far this guy can go down here. Looking at maybe a little bit of a bigger chart now. Welcome to the show, guys. I don't know what we're at right here. Let me see. How many viewers do we have right now? 10,141. What, Valeria? 1.8K likes? Something's wrong there. Let's throw over to Valeria, guys. I want to see that, like 10,000 watching. We can't even get 20%. That's embarrassing. Let's ramp that up. Let's go, guys. Let's start attacking that like button. Valeria, give him hell.
Absolutely, Sean. We have record number of viewers today. Guys, please support, hit thumbs up, Happy New Year, and welcome to the best trading live show. Back to Sean.
Yep.
Only trading live.
I would say it's one of the best, if not the best, but you guys make that decision. We're here every single day, and trust me, I'm not going anywhere, especially not as we go here. And I want to thank everybody for the support online. I tweeted out a couple cool things over the weekend, and people loving it. So look, guys, welcome to the party. Welcome to the club. Let's go.
Bren?
Mark was talking, guys, in the pre-market about some individual industrial names that he wanted to focus on going into the new year, the first month of the year anyways. Caterpillar quietly here today. All-time highs, 1.7%. Market still straight to the downside. Caterpillar all-time highs, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I just took a quick shot of reloading on Palantir, not Caterpillar, obviously. We were trading that one. Off of that 23.50, I like that price once, gonna like it again. It just broke through that price. And then pre-market lows before that was 23.65. So a bit of a shot to short it at the same price with a really, really tight stop at 23.65. Gonna go ahead and do that. NCTY, I'm reloading back into this one at about $6. A bit of a bid at that price. And I think if it breaks, lots of room to run. That 640, of course, is my out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still looking around. So we did get out of some of that CCL. What a great out that was, guys. We'll tweet all of this out for you. Look at this short. 21.40. Ding, 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 all the way to the bottom. And that's ringing the register on those plays. So let's just continue to watch that one. Our best Neo trade was out 53.30 there. So we're going to look for some more trades as we go. Fubo making moves to the downside there. We can have a quick look at this one. I know there's a lot of you that are in this name, Fubo. Fubo TV. Okay. Yeah, nice little drop down. We could, again, maybe a 3-minute chart will give us a little more details on where we can come from here. Wow, okay. That's where we've came from. All the way to the downside, 26.50 looking like a decent bottom there. In For Us, By Us, just joking, this is Fubo, not Fubu. What up, B?
Yeah, that one to the downside for a week now. Here we go, a little headline on Fubo, January 7th. Mark that one in your calendars. That is Fubo's lockup expiration, guys, January 7th. So already under pressure over the last week or so, as we've said.
Now, we've certainly seen this story unfold before. We talked about the Lemonade lockup. It already moved downside into that and getting a bit of a bid, a couple of days later than that. Penn is about to test the low of the day, and I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing in GAN. Now, I wanted to buy this thing on a dip, but showing a heck of a lot of relative strength when it comes to versus DraftKings and Penn Gaming as well. So if you like this name, which I do, you might not be able to get it on the dip. It looks like it has a shot to take out the top. It doesn't do a lot of volume, only 300,000 shares, but definitely a runner. NCTY just broke that 640, so the initial short was fantastic, but it is what it is. We get in after the re-halt, the first halt, and it's now broken that 640 level. There was a good level at 7 even, 680 to 7 even. I would look for that try again. I'm only going short this name. I will not go long NCTY today.
Yeah, and we also had ACY last week as well. We have Kevin O'Leary coming on Jan 12th. Please do not forget about that. If you're interested in anything he has to say, we're going to talk about watches. We're going to talk about some of his picks for 2020, 2021. Hopefully, for 2020 he already has those out. And then we will also talk about his opinion on day trading. And I'm going to show him some of this risk analysis that we do on the show here and get his comment. But a big trade happening over on my side. What's up, Brent?
Okay, guys, looks like just having a look at Snapchat, it is actually negative, down 1.2% here. Google and Snapchat in talks to invest in ShareChat. That's according to TechCrunch. So Google possibly in talks to invest in ShareChat with Snapchat. But yeah, down 1.2% here.
Uh-oh, not Pied Piper? I don't know. I was just starting to watch Silicon Valley. If you guys are watching that one, Pied Piper is it in that one? So that's just a bad little joke there. But that's what the wife and I are watching right now. Okay, we are having some Bitcoin. We are long there on a 35 break of GBTC. So watch out for that one if you guys are on GBTC at all, guys.
Yeah, reloaded over in pounds here, and we'll do a bit of a backflip. It's the same. It's essentially the same price level. You do the first short. You've been trying to stay net short here. If it does break back above pre-market lows, and I'm looking at this price, 23.65, just going to get out of it, but already scalping it successfully a couple of times here, and then going to hold on for dear life, as they would say. This NCTY, a bit of a frustrating play here because it just broke up. I thought we'd get a test of 7. It slams back down, barely, doesn't even get to that 680. So the target range 80 to 7. It doesn't quite get there. I missed the re-entry point. Now it's going to come back in. Wild stock. When it calms down, it's going to fall like an absolute rock, I do think. Brennan.
My daily chart has frozen, but AMD, guys, big time strength coming from the chip makers so far, 92 to 94 for AMD. Flip over to Micron, just broke 77.5. That's all-time highs for Micron, guys.
Hell yeah. Again, we gave some picks, at least I gave some picks on last week, and I was all about the semis, man. We talked about AMD, and I was like, take your pick there. I like AMD better than NVIDIA. 94 and change of the high side. Good one there, 2.5% and still moving. What did we get to? Oh, yes, sir. Thank you so much, guys, for getting us up to $3,000 right now. We're still at that 10,000, so thank you so much for that. It's a completely free show. Like, other people try to imitate. They try to do this. They can't. But you are now with us. So thank you so much for watching us. BNGO, I have not traded that today. I did want to look back at XPeng. We did like XPEV breaking through 46. We just had so much on board there early that we didn't take this one. So we did have XPEV breaking through 46. It only goes to 46.50. You're not in trouble right now, but I'm just wondering if some of the steam possibly coming out of some of these names. NEO, though, still $1.36 in the money. we have this one long and strong for a bit. It's only not, like, I'm pretty exhausted. It's only 9:52. I feel fine, but it's been such an exciting day here for me. We're up huge already, guys, and just enjoying this day. So let's just keep on going. Tesla, 738, Neil. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, 740 just seems like it's going to be in play. But I mean, the better trades, and we said the better day trade stock. I think. I mean, it's certainly going to be true here when you see that NIO trade for sure. It's definitely a better day trading stock. There's no question about it when it comes to that versus Tesla. But to own, yeah, obviously you can't go wrong with Tesla. I'm trying to figure out where a bottom might be in quantum space, if there even is one. It's just screaming to the downside still. Obviously, short sell restricted. There's a bit of a bunch level at like 44. That seems crazy. It would go another 10%, but it's down 40%. It's down from a top of 140. It just feels like this is getting a little bit out of hand here. And at some point when this thing, if it can find a bid, it's going to be a good one. Much like saying patient going short in front of a moving train, going long in the face of this fall is certainly the same thing. Let's try to be a little bit patient. 50 looks like it could be the level holding now, but there's not a heck of a lot if it breaks, and 44 to 45. Certainly a reasonable target. Palantir, basically, yeah, about 25 cents. They're 20 cents in the money. I'm trying to hold on to the rest of this short on the reload, but it is finding a bit of a base here and holding consolidation below VWAP, which is a good sign. If it does break down, I definitely take 22.50 this time. It did not last time. I will see if we can't get that price for the dollar. I thought maybe we'd get past that 22.50 to 22 even. Of course, that didn't happen. I won't be greedy thinking it will a second time.
Yeah, okay, I just tweeted out the CCL trade. We will tweet out also our NIO trade in a bit at Trader TV, Sean, if you want to see this one. And we're still in this, so we still have that 10% left. So that's why when you see me talk about how big of a day this is, and if you don't know, you know, now you know. Here's $35 break right now on GBTC. That was 50 cents there. We got some out at 10s, 11s, some out right now at 35. GBTC still making highs, 35.50, and we're still long on this one, guys. So what's up, Bren?
Depending on the outcome of the Georgia Senate runoff election, guys, there's certain benefits that could come to the cannabis sector. Have a look at CGC here. 6% today for CGC, guys.
Hell yeah, we always talk about buying the biggest and the baddest. And CGC, of course, Weed Batman. Look, I'm a little bit of a bag holder. We've lightened up on some of this, but CGC with the Weed Batman going to the moon here. Let's have a quick look at another name, Afria. I liked Afria a bit, not a bit better, but a little differently than CGC. But then, of course, you do have that merger with Tilray. So, wow, up 6% as well. Okay, Afria, we'll check our portfolio out. I hope it's doing quite well. But Afria right now mooning, hopefully mooning eventually. And look at Bitcoin, GBTC, we just got out there, 54. Nice little 50-cent win on this one, guys.
I saw someone in the chat here, and I'm just going to quickly say, I said QS, Quantum Space, was short sell restricted. That is the SSR rule. It means you can only go short by removing liquidity off the bid aggressively on an uptick. So it doesn't mean you cannot short the stock in general. You just need to have locates to be able to do that. It's just the short sell restriction rule, which means you got to short on an uptick. If you want to remove liquidity from the bid, I can offer at any price, of course. Just a bit of education there. Brendan?
I mentioned a couple of the semiconductors, very, very strong. Here's another one to add to the list. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors, 4+% as well. Just made a day high on a huge volume spike as well, guys. All-time highs for TSM.
Yeah. The semis are just going off as we speak. So no doubt about that one. Okay, so we are out of our Bitcoin. We're just trying to get into something else here as we go. We're looking for other names. If you do have anything
BTBT is going crazy.
Yeah. Is it? BTBT. Okay, we can have a look at that. That's the Bitcoin again. It's not What?
Yeah.
I remember we talked about this on Thursday. I went long $15, got out 18, and thought that was pretty snazzy there. But $31 BTBT, guys. As Bitcoin continues to rip upside, you're seeing a lot of these crypto names just go, sorry to say, but parabolic. I guess I got a drink at some point. But yeah, BTBT going nuts, guys. Mara, everything. Let's check out Mara, another one here going. What is it? What's Mara up here? Come on, adjust. Mara, up only 8.5%. And then Riot as well. We can check back on Riot as well, up that 6%. So it's really just BTBT going off right now. CCL also added stay low here. We're going to get out if it breaks back above 20.75. We let that 10% ride. It's actually 5%. It's less than 10% on that one. We had a lot of shares there. And then we do have 20.51 there as the bottom. So, and NIO, I'm just sort of holding this to watch it, but the juice is kind of loose on this one, guys.
The juice is loose. Hey, man, you might as well
the juice was loose early.
You might as well use the Bills references. Well,
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about there, because of course a former running back who was had run into some trouble, but the Bills are doing good now. Let's not get too much into OJ. I'm going to go quickly back to NCTY. I'm going to take another shot at this. It did not quite get to, like I said, the 687 even mark. Now it's trying to roll over at a lower price. If I can catch some here around like 640, which I'm doing at this point, I'll use this recent high. That 675, 680 is a bit of an out. I did add to the Palantir position when 23 broke. I will definitely cover in front of 2250, guys, on the way down. Sorry, 23 even just tried to break again. So my average price now 23.10. I averaged in the money here. So instead of when it goes against me, that means as went in my favor, I added to the short.
Okay, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin GBTC still trying to go up, but maybe it's trying to come back down a little bit as well. So not sure about that. Oh, I did not put the order out there. 2075, we're going to get ready for. Oh my God, my charts are frozen as well here. Yeah, so the frustration continues for me with frozen charts, and now my level 2 is all acting up. So I'm going to try to close this and get back to you guys. But charting, a little bit of an issue. I'm going to shout out our IT department when we go, but there it is, frozen up. But CCL 2075, we're going to get out. So there it is, 2075 out of CCL, guys.
So we were preaching a little bit of patience when it came to Boeing. Just talking about that with Mark. Yeah, that 200 might be starting to come into play here. A bit of a bounce already off 205, 206. 66. Okay, so there's that 666 number again. We saw it on Tesla a little bit, but that's the bottom on Boeing. I think you still wait for 200, but I'm tracking that name all morning long to see if I can't get an opportunity to get in. I'm going to get back over to BNGO. NCTV, every single time I get into it, it immediately takes out a tight stop, so I have to find a wider stop to get into short of that position. But BNGO, here's that 460 that we mentioned. 480, certainly a decent level. I have shorted off that and then got basically a bit of an even fill there. If 460 breaks, I really do think this one is going to start to come back in. This was $3 last year. I know that really means last week, but it's also 10 o'clock, and that means it's time to go to Brendan for Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock, quick look at North American markets. Just like that, gains are gone. Back in negative territory once again for the S&P, 0.2%. You can see the Dow 0.3% leading the way to the downside, although there are some names in the NASDAQ that are starting to show some weakness as well. Just went red here, both the composite and the 100 for the NASDAQ. The Russell still holding on to 0.3% gain. So small cap still showing some strength. The TSX here in Toronto, 0.7%. BOVESPA also still positive, 0.4% if you're joining us down in Brazil. A few things from the watch list, guys, to have a look at still. We talked about the positivity surrounding Palantir in the pre-market. Yeah, not so much. They sold it immediately. 24 ended up being the level, down to 22.5 on volume as well, pushing to new lows as we speak, in fact, for Palantir. And Roku, yeah, big gap up this morning, 340 down to 324 in a straight line. Big time relative volume coming into Roku as well. Guys, back over to you.
That's kind of funny. Actually, that's kind of funny about Roku because we did talk about, I mean, I just didn't think those levels. So we did get out of CCL in a 2075 break. I hope that wasn't the wrong call there, but it's been a big day for us. So we got to focus again and see if we can't find more big trades for you guys. If you're just joining us, check the bottom, man. I've traded CCL, Bitcoin, NEO, and Palantir now, and it's just been a rocking day. But here's CCL. I want to get to again is Roku. So yeah, we actually, in the pre-market, we joked about 330 coming through, but I said if you guys were long to watch out for 336. We didn't do anything about that. It just came down hard. This is a 3-minute chart, so definitely something to watch out for here in Roku as it just makes a move right back to the downside. So I think you can re-look at this thing through 331. So let's get ready to go long if it does retake 331 on Roku. That's going to be a play I'm going to look at right here.
Yeah, and BNGO is sort of gearing up again. And every single time you see something like this where it's up so far, it's already had a couple of deep pullbacks, but it just cannot seem to roll over more deeply, I guess the best way to put it. This 460 level continues to hold. It just feels like there's going to be another long shot here. And if it gets below, like if it does break that 60 and goes below there, I don't mind getting back in the short, and I very likely will. But I'm going to start hunting for a bit of a long. If I can catch something off of that 60 level and then work it up to $5, I don't even have to think about it being a home run trade. I can just look to scalp it. If I can get like 65 or so off of that 460, we'll go for it on BNGO. Still showing a little bit of strength here as it holds a bid, Brennan.
I can add this one to the list as well. Li Auto a little bit late to the party, but 31 guys just broke on a volume spike there as well. 8.3% now for Li Auto, guys.
Like, look at CGC. Do we actually want to take this out on the high here? I'm wondering about that right now. CGC 2650. The high is right here. Like, what is going on? Obviously, we know what's going on. Brendan brought it to us with the Senate vote, but wow, 2654. If we can get a pullback to 2640, let's take it. But I'm going to take a little bit right now on CGC long and use this 2635 as a bottom. This thing still has room to go, man. These marijuana stocks could go forever, really.
I mean, there's so much room from the bottom for a lot of those names. I'm going to get. I saw some people in the chat there. I'm going to look at Sundial in a second, but consolidation in Palantir here, right around that 23 even. Now, I did add that short off the top, 23.50 a couple times. Now added to that position, taking 23s, get an average price of 10s. I will cover it if it dips down below towards the low of the day, but because I've added here, I have the shot to hold to VWAP. And then definitely also hold through 22.50, which I wasn't going to do before. So Palantir has been good, and I won't look a gift horse in the mouth on this one. That's why I will take some in front of the low of the day. But I do want to hold if that in the event that does break. Certainly, Sean already went over some support levels. He talked about that with Mark, so you can look to get out in front of those if you can. Sean just mentioned Roku, and a little bit surprised to see 325 here. Not really. We did talk about a potential rollover. This was around that price range that it made sense, like a full 10% retracement. If it can hold here, maybe you're looking for a bit of a stabilization. Hasn't happened just yet. Going to hang on to the Palantir short. Did not get into this is ridiculous, BNGO. I just talked about the long and try to be patient on the bid, and then it pops 20 pennies. So that one continuously seem to look strong. I got to find a way to be long these names sometimes.
Guys, there it is. Look at this. We take it so nice. We take it twice. 2650, 2650, out right there, 82. So we did it again, guys. So we're smoking today. It doesn't really matter what sector, apparently, that we're on. And no, we're not actually smoking anything. You can see I'm pretty fine right now. But 2675, what a good move this has been, guys. Right to the upside. We just took some off for 30 cents. That was 30 cents in 1 minute. So that was a good idea. And then we'll just keep on going, guys. We still have that one. Now 25 cents in the money on CGC and rocking and rolling now on all fronts, guys. We just took GBTC short as well if this loads up. There it is. So we go short on that number. Now it's coming back to the downside, so we're waiting on that one. And then NEO right now as well. Big victory on this one today, guys. Bang, 50, 80 long again inside here. Now we're sort of consolidating. So you might want, you might want to say, like, I want to trade now. So let's see. 53.20 break on NEO. Look at the volume, guys. 58 million shares.
And there's BNGO through high of day again. This is just ridiculous. We just talked about that long like 50 cents ago, so there's your 10%. If you just punched in instead of waiting on the bid like I did. Looking to get back in NCTY, and I just covered some more Palantir, so that short continues to be fine. Look, this is an interesting price because you had a 525 break, which I did scalp in and out of. It couldn't go any further. This rollover right here, I'll give it one crack. If it holds the high, fine. It's going to be relatively tight stop if you look at what this stock has done. Oh, there you go. Sorry. It's maybe 15 cents, I think, to like a 540 break. But if it rolls here, you're talking about a scalp to 5 even. It's still relatively strong. I don't want to fight it too far, guys. I also want to chase it too far. So 20 to 25 is the entry, 40 is your out. And that is a hard stop. I don't care about getting faked out. It's been entirely too strong to fight it too far here on BNGO. But I am now going short again.
Okay, yeah, we are still long and strong. And look at this one, guys, up to $27. So hell yeah, as we Batman, maybe we should get out some. We'll take some out 92 there. Watch the 27. You can see the positions we're in at the bottom, guys. Look, I've not read on anything here today, and I don't plan on getting that way. But who knows? Anything can happen. We get what the market gives us. We take what the market gives us. Who went long there? 53.20 there on NEO. I did not. But I said let's give these guys a trade. How about 53.20? So hit the disco ball and start dancing it off. I mean, that would be another victory right there on NEO. Was busy doing something else, but missed that trade. So there's another win for you guys. Hopefully you have that 53.20 on NIO. Big time win over there for us today. And then there goes CGC as well. We keep saying this, but sometimes it's just that easy. Brendan brings the news to us, and yeah, just like mac and cheese. All you need for mac and cheese, really, guys. I mean, you can make it the best. There's lots of secret recipes out there, but cheese, macaroni, maybe a little cream and milk, depending on what you like. Right now, 45 cents in the money. I like breadcrumbs too. 45 cents in the money right now on CGC, and still rocking in $2 in the money on NIO. Let's go, Brendo.
If anyone's wondering about this FLIR, guys, this is a merger buyout today, 20% to the upside. Cash and stock, they're being acquired by that Teledyne company. The reason I bring this up is because they do have a portion of their company that is involved in that LiDAR technology, the laser sensors. They do a whole bunch of other things, but there is a portion of it in the LiDAR sector, guys.
NCTY halts again, and this is what we try to talk about, that 7 even level. I try to get it this time on the way down instead of the way up, but it's the second time it's halted down. But the first price at 640, that's going to come into play whenever it reopens. If you get anywhere between this 590, 640, nice little 50-cent range for you there, I would definitely be shorting this name one more time. I've only gone short. I said it will not long this stock today, and that is not going to happen. Palantir, we take our first hit on it. We go over and over again back into the shorts on Palantir. And the last one stalls out at 22.90. I just covered, accidentally got long, didn't mean to, so I got out on the offer. Made a couple cents there, but who cares? It's now breaking back up. If we get 23.50 again, maybe I'm gonna have to forget about shorting it. I still have a stop at 23.65. I'm going long on Palantir through 23.65. If the bottom is in, I want a piece of it and see if we can't run that towards pre-market highs. So out of the shorts at Palantir for now, and 23.65 is going to be my long breakout price.
Okay, here's Palantir. I was actually just going to look at that as well. We only shorted one time there, and we're 1 for 1 on this. We didn't keep the absolute bottom, 22.50. That's, oh my God, you know what the embarrassing thing is here, guys? 22.50 is actually that daily level there that I think Mark had 21.50, but it does bounce off. This is the level right there, 22.38 or so on that bottom. I wonder if we'll see that again on Palantir. I got to go look over at Alibaba and see if they found Jack Ma yet. What's up, Bren?
Cron, the next one to pop up here, guys. Now 8% for Cron. Look at big volume coming in at day highs. These are significant levels on the daily chart. Remember, the Georgia runoff tomorrow. So they're buying this heading into Tuesday's Georgia runoff. If the Democrats can secure the Senate, that's huge for weed, guys.
Maybe they know something. Yeah, I mean, huge for weed. I mean, we're just getting ready to go. What about GRWG? So those of you that know, put the price in there that you're long, because I gave this to you guys in September. So I don't know what this is at right now. Let's just call this up right now. We were long $17, $18. So there's almost, I mean, we'll get to a triple if that gets approved. But here's GRWG. And again, if you're watching us for the first time, not only am I trading throughout the day, but also trying to give you picks. This one was down here, man, in September, $16, $17. We looked at GRWG. We call it the Home Depot of marijuana, and there it is, right to the high side. Those of you that like to grow, you probably know Grow Generation brands. And then again, as you get going here with some of the, the rhetoric and whatever with marijuana, there are going to pass, just like they did here in Ontario, laws about growing your own, right? So I think that there's some possibility here, as well as Scott's Miracle Grow. You've missed the boat on some of these plays, but just watch them. Scott's, which is, here we go, I'll call it up for you, SMG, again. And this is what we get, guys. Like, not only traders, but I try to educate on all these different sectors so that we can bring them to you and talk about them. I just need the charts to go. SMG, come on. Look at this. This is what I mean about missing the boat here. You could have took SMG as well, 150. You're up to 200. I prefer Grow Generation brands, but it's nice to see right here as CGC, which is the other one that we have, still making some moves, long 56 up to 91 right now.
Yeah, I mean, you look at parabolic charts like that in CGC. I got another one here, which might be reversing. Of course, we talked about BTBT a couple of times. But today, this is the second time it's looked like a rollover. The first was at 30, another 10% to the upside at 33 here. It's just a better time of day for me to look at it. I actually, in a minute or so, going to be getting to NCTY, which should open back up. A BTBT, I take my first crack at it around 32, if I can get that price. If it does break 30 even, that would be more of like a scalp trade. Just sort of take that break and try to catch a quick little dollar there. The shorts are actually cheaper than I expected, like a penny per share on BTBT. So a couple of levels, 30 break I'll take. 32 off of the high of the day I'll take as well on BTBT. Brendan?
If you're looking for weakness, guys, as we continue to slide off here, Genworth Financial, GNW, they had a merger agreement with this Oceanwide from China. The end date, or the date they had to come to an agreement on said agreement, was December 31st. They said this morning they have not extended that or finalized it. So 25% dip here for GNW, guys.
Genworth. Okay, we'll look at that as well. Also looking at GE. GE's been one of my calls again. I think we're long I don't know if you guys are long. I'm long 1050, so this one not going. We did talk about the industrial sector there with Mark a little bit, and the fact that he liked it was important to me because I'm already in GE, and I like General Electric. I know you're talking about Genworth back there, but I just want to talk about GE because I feel like this is a name here that could break out as well. So watch out to the downside. 10.06 there on GE could be something. CGC, there it goes, guys. It breaks through. So yeah, Weed Batman still in the building. 27.17. We went long there, 26.50. I'm trying my best to give you guys the winners, right? So we've only made like 6 or 7 big trades today. And CGC, here's another one right now. 50, 60 cents. I think we can go higher, guys. I'm not going to dump this at least until the end of the show. Let's see if we can see 28 today on this name.
Yeah, I just got into some BTBT around 31.55. It's starting to roll over. I liked it around that 32 price, but the stock with like a 20, 30 cent spread at times has to be more aggressive than I wanted. NCTY opens back up and is doing basically nothing. If it takes out this bottom here at 590, I'll get into the short, but I thought we maybe pop and then test that high. That has not happened, so it's going to have to be a 590 break, and then we'll see if we can get shares. I mean, liquidity on this has also been a bit sketchy, so I'll try to hit that bid if it goes and see if we can't get it. There we go, actually got into the shares, so short that name as well. Just going to go back over to another one of these, another runner. Li Auto, 31.50. It's already made it, you can see this a couple times here. A bit of a double top on Li Auto, now consolidating lower. I would have picked on XPeng, but sort of 0 for 1 on that one right off of the open. So I'm going to go over to Li because I like to set up just a bit better off that 31.50. Didn't quite get there. I think that's a bit of a sign of weakness on a bit of a pull. And if we can hold this 31, I'd like a breakdown with a stop at that 31.50 price, guys. NCTY in the short. BNGO is starting to come off, but I'm not going short that name until it's below $5. Still looking very strong, that one.
Not. Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay, did I say not? That's like a double negative. Yeah. I should never. I'm not going short BNGO until it's below $5. Sorry.
Right, okay. All right, Roku, we tried to go. We're still looking at, now it's 330. I got to fix my stop. We were looking at a 331 break there. Overdone, I think, probably. We send out our watch list. You guys can get that every single day for free. Here it is. I'll show it to you in a second here. Oops, no, I have too many emails to go to show it. Here it is. Let's go. Roku right now buys Quibi, or looking to, I think, was the rumor here. I don't know nothing about it. I do not know anything about it. There you go, Neil. Quibi there on Roku. So we had it up today. It was up 4%, 3%. We didn't really think that was going to be any significant news, so we gave you 336 break. That went all the way back down. Now I'm actually looking to see if we can take out this 331, but look at this, 330 VWAP. I like that short through there better, I think. 330 break. What's up, Beep?
Looks like Opco Health. If you remember that OPK just popping up, the FDA has accepted a change that they've made in an application for approval on a growth hormone deficiency. They announced about halfway through last year that they were teaming up with Pfizer, in fact, on this said growth hormone deficiency for children. So the FDA looking at a change in that. 420 just broke there on a volume spike for OPK, guys.
All right.
Yeah, worth 2.5 million shares. This one's actually done a decent amount of volume. It's not looking bad for a breakout off of this 420 level. That's why I'm not gonna. I wouldn't, like I said, on these things I wouldn't short it. Certainly when you get this bit of a break here, it has some continuation possibilities looking at the daily to like a 5 even. So it's on my radar, but not for the short that you might think would be in play. I actually like this if it can continue this push through 425. It failed once. If you get some consolidation, I think a secondary break could be in play for Opco Health there. BTBT went in the money about, I'd say 70 or 80 cents, but I mentioned to you guys the spread. Yeah, I mean, this is basically the range it's been putting in. This is why I had to get 31.55. I'll take $1 at the bottom end of this range, and then I'll see if I can't get the rest down around VWAP. Certainly at some point it's going to come back in. There's no guarantees it's going to be here. I would not let it break through high of day. Too volatile for that, Brendan.
Just double checking on this one. Pinterest just popping up 4.5% upside. Look at the volume as well. Just took this from 66.5 to 68.5 for pins. Not seeing anything at first glance, but Pinterest running, guys.
Yeah, they did have that. I mean, here's Pinterest here on a 20-minute. They did have this high basically, I guess right where it went today, 69.50. And like I said, some of these names that have been loved, it's probably Etsy probably looks very similar to this as well. They got beat up the last week or so in the new year, so in the past year here. There was a opportunity, I think, to buy some of these, and that's probably what it is. It's just reweighting, maybe portfolio management here coming. A lot of people maybe sold this name up high when some of these levels broke, and then they're like, wait a second, we still do like Pinterest. Let me check on Etsy, see if that's a very, very similar chart. Yeah, exactly. So 196 down to 174. So I think you could get a pop in a lot of these. A good base here on some of these names, 174, 175. Another name like that as well that we're in at 117 on Peloton. And you can see that had the same kind of break to the high side, 165 now back in. Watch out for this 146 level. But Peloton, Etsy, Pinterest, Chewy is another name that's been beat up basically on no news whatsoever other than portfolio. I'm just going to call it portfolio rebalancing as a lot of traders getting ready to get back in, I believe, into some of these high flyers that were taking off in 2020. Just got to, just slow down a bit on some of these names. Palantir 2350.
One that's getting beaten up that I don't think anyone is going to be shedding any tears over, or at least not many people in our community. Wish, down 1%, but you mentioned you named Pinterest, which I like. Wish I don't. Wish I don't. And the $18 even has already been broken here. Now you look at last year's support. This is of course the last trading day of the session. It was all kinds of support at this price. It's actually got a bit of a low here at 1750. But it's not that difficult a thesis to think that we're going to break through a fresh low on Wish, and that 18 sort of looms large as a bit of a break price. It's sort of a name that's already been shorted and already taken some advantage of here, but I like it if I can get 90 to 95. I'll use an 18 stop and then try to get out of it in front of that 1750. So Wish, add that to the wish list for something that can fall back to the downside here. I talked about Palantir wanting to catch a bit of a break. That 23.65, we're almost there. Only a couple of pennies away here. This is just the opening range high. That's nothing too complicated here, and also pre-market lows. Sort of ignoring some of those dark pool prints that came off at 6 a.m. That's also the pre-market low here. So 23.65, a couple of pennies away from getting into the first long of the day on Palantir, for me, anyways.
Yeah, we've just been one and done on Palantir today. Wow, look at Weed Batman. Yes, sir. CGC, guys, and I want to thank Brendan for this one. I'm always on the lookout. I'm actually a little bit surprised that I wasn't watching this earlier because I am always looking for that news. Like I said, I am an investor in these names. Got my father into this one, like $20. So we'll call you after the show, Dad. I want to give a big shout out also to my mother-in-law, possibly watching up in the great north here. What's up? Hopefully see you soon. When everything clears, but it's been a big day. Now we're paying for that hotel room if we need to come visit you. 27.20 right now. Watch out for CGC. That was the high. We're long right here. 27.20, looking pretty good right now. What's up to all my family? We got Brendan over at the big screen.
Hey guys, let's have a look at a few small caps we were talking about in the pre-market. We'll start with this one, BNGO, the move on the daily chart. Remember, I was talking about spells the story. Very, very strong at the end of the day. I mentioned $5 here, ended up being a bit of a pivot throughout the pre-market. Really hasn't gotten away from that. I mean, we're up to 540, but we've tested lower. We're now testing higher above that 5. So $5 is a bit of a magnet for BNGO. Not much to do so far. OCGN, this was a pretty good level at 4 that it was developing in the pre-market. There was definitely a seller in front of 4. Give you a great shot to be short anywhere along this point versus 4. Out down there around 280, 275. So huge move for OCGN right off the bat. NCTY, this one was stronger right off the bat, very obviously so. There was bids showing up on the way down here, absorbing this, and with the idea being that this is a cryptocurrency related news story. So if Bitcoin were to go, this one would probably catch a bid. And sure enough, we saw the move back to the upside, but holding now below 620, guys, for NCTY. Back to you.
And if we go from Brendan to a winner, here comes BTBT. Now, again, this is not to say that, you have to fight the trend every single time, but it's just stair-stepped up each time. So $30 The same pullback into 27.50. I see at 33 consolidation. We play it here. Of course, I would have liked to have it the first, but if it's a really, really bullish name, I kind of wait for the bigger level and I wait for a later push, maybe after 10 o'clock. It's just a bit safer. Took a buck, then took $2. I'll be in. We'll line that one up and we'll knock those pins down and now step away from it because I'm not going to fight this stock too hard. Certainly, it's still in a bit of an upward trend. Speaking of upward trends, I'll get to Palantir in a second. Did get the long break. Hopefully that will be the one. And hopefully it's made a bottom here, but 23.65 is broken and I'm long that. BNGO about to take the high, and I wanted the dip to 5. It never quite got to 5 even. Continuously going higher. If it gets below 5, I think I'll go for the short. Or if it finally halts to the upside, which probably won't happen, or we get something parabolic post 10 o'clock, which has happened only once here, I'll look for a short off of a crazy move, maybe into $6.
Okay, someone asked in the chat there, will Bitcoin drop further? Look, I don't know. I'm going to say yes because it's volatile. Does that mean that it's not worth buying? No. I mean, I think Bitcoin obviously needs to be in everybody's portfolio. Those of you that follow me know it's in mine. And then we can call up a chart here when I get in a second. But Brendan will have more talk, obviously, about Bitcoin when he comes. You guys also want NEO. NEO's my #1 stock today, and it's to the moon, man. And it just keeps on going. You guys want more NEO talk. But the thing is, like, I'm not done. I mean, I'm never done trading. If those of you know me, know that that's the truth. But here we go. Look, NEO, we played it so well off the open, man. We got this price, 50.40 right there. And then, 50.85 or so. We hit that, and then we took that break upside. I said that this would be like a name that we need to look at into the new year. NEO, electric vehicles not going anywhere. I don't even know why it wasn't up more today, but now you're up that 9%. So again, guys, just congratulations to anybody that's on this NEO trade with us here. It looks like it's obviously getting pretty top heavy right now. We will tweet out this so you guys can see this. My #1 stock, and again, it's just about the share size, right? Like if you don't have many shares, maybe you can hold this, but when I see this coming up at 52.25, I get out, and then we get out ahead of 50. These are my plays. You guys know we trade around the evens, and then there we let the last 10% break upside, which is right where we're at now, and now we hold a very, very small part left of NEO. So just watch out here. I still think we could take out the top. XPeng though, Neil, I don't think you were in this one yet, Neil. I
was in off the open and then immediately out of it.
So I did write down on the list here, XPEV, $46 was something to look at. And I mean, now we're just breaking above there, but nothing to brag about there. It kind of bounced around 46. A nice little gap up right now, though.
Yeah, and we'll go back to Palantir. Now, usually I'm not going to be, we'll put Superman up because I like flying some superhero action. I'll tell you about a horrible superhero movie when it slows down because I just watched it, unfortunately. But Palantir breaks up that 23.65, no longer short in the name, into the longs. This is that pre-market range. I just scalped it out in front of 24. Sorry, I'm not actually all out of it. Looking to test that high of day now. We're going to hang on to this long. If this is the bottom for the day on Palantir, there's lots of room to run because of what has happened. Look, it's got a bit of a range at $30 all the way before finding this support here at 22.50. Definitely a good shot to get to 25 in the upcoming days here. With any luck, that could actually be today. We'll see. Going to hang on to the rest of these shares here long 23.68. Brennan, what's up?
Market just cannot find a bid here, guys. We're still falling on the overall market. Couple of names from tech world to be aware of. Facebook here down 1%, getting back towards the bottom end of the daily time frame range, around 268, 270. I'll flip over to another one. PayPal was weak initially, all the way down to 233. We're right back up 1.2% now for PayPal.
Okay, PayPal Square, good names as well. We love all those names. And then those of you, okay, so 53.50, we're taking long on NEO. It just seems to have a bottom here. If we can break, I mean, again, I play the 50s, right? So we're already long 51, 54. So we've already got a $2 winner right now. So that was a good idea. Now we'll see if we can have another one. Like, and this is the thing, we're not expecting like this just to keep on ripping. If we can get it up to 53.80, the day's high, maybe even 53.70, 60, something like that, we will scalp some out. So here's 50, it's gonna break. We're gonna go long on a stop order that we have there. So downside on this long, guys, I don't know. Let's have a quick look at something a little bit longer time period here. If we do get this break, we will go long. So you'll see that pop in. You'll see a little check mark happen here. And then, yeah, let's just give this all the way back here. There it is. There's the little up arrow. So let's give it down here to 53 and change. But right now, guys, we go long NEO. We just punch that through. And look at this, instantly in the money now. Let's take out 66s. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. Hopefully you're with me on these trades, guys. Right through the moon there on NEO. Like, we just take 53.50 there. It's already at 75, a 20-cent winner. NEO, it doesn't get much easier than this, bud.
Yeah, I mean, I just quickly got into a short off some size in NCTY, and again, going to try to scalp it. It was a 640 level. I got some shares here at 637. Then it immediately does not hold, so I did get a bit of a scalp out. I'm going to see if we can't ride this one back down into the 6 even area, but that was just sort of a parabolic move up, which was sort of waiting patiently for one after getting stopped out of my last short. I'll give it to like a 650, but size jumped in and then immediately got filled. Now, that could be someone that went short for a big size, or that could be someone that dumped a bit of a long position. Either way, I like the fact that that offer was there. I'm going to hang on to this one, hopefully down to a 6 and then 580 level, and then only 10% if it breaks that. Brendan?
Another one getting some attention today that's kind of in the background, been floating around a little bit, this Jaguar Health, JAG X 30%. You can see every now and then it pops up on the daily chart. Typically doesn't fade. This is one that kind of gives you that move on the daily chart and then holds and then pushes further. So through $1 now for this JAG X 32%, guys.
So this is... Okay, good. Yeah, we'll check out Jaguar Mining. It's been in the news, like you said, Brendan, a lot there. This is what I want to talk to Mr. O'Leary, my good friend, about. Because, look, guys, I mean, this is the kind of risk management that I'm talking about. I said we would take 53s, right? Hit the rewind. Where did I say, guys, if you're watching me, where did I say that I was going to get out? 80s, right? So, okay, so there's some out at 69, and there's some out at 74, and now we hold a third of what we have left, and we'll just wait to see if it can take out 80. If not, we'll get out back to 53. So, I mean, here's risk management. We take out 2/3 of the profit, giving the target what we're looking for, and also giving a downside target as well. So there it is again, guys. You know, we'll smile all day long here. I'm at the highest spot I've been at all day long, and the profits just keep coming through there. I'm trading with light shares now, even though it's only 1037. I've hit my goal 6x right now on the goal for the day, so that's what it is. If you're at 6x, guys, I advise maybe you slow down unless you see that great opportunity. And believe me, I'll be back in there when we do see that. CGC coming back in. We did have a good opportunity on this one to the high side, but now we're trying to form out again. Watch out for this break, 26.40 on CGC.
Got a bit of a good exit price here, and I'll get to Wish in a second. I just shorted that one at 92 off that 18 break. We talked about that a little bit. 1750, a bit of a target for me on Wish. I'd hold some if it breaks through that price. See if it can't go to fresh lows. Who knows? Once the bottom is broken, you have no idea where the new bottom is going to be on Wish because there's no levels, guys. Pullback on Palantir is a good level to get out around 24. That stuck out like a sore thumb. You saw all kinds of sideways action throughout the pre-market for 2 hours going into that open. So anticipating that, that's why you cover some. It is bouncing off of our 2365 level. So that holds a support. Not a bad place to reload, but if you do that, I would have a stop at that same price or at 60 for the bulk of the shares. I still want this to break out of this range. So if we get above 2450, I would look to put a bit of a trailing stop in. We're a ways away from that. NCTY is finally looking like it's going to give me at least the trade I've been kind of hunting for. Look, I had a couple of good shorts in the pre-market here off this, but since the open, this is the first solid one. I saw the size there and played off of it. If it gets down to 580, I'll have almost all of it out and then hold the home run on only 10% of the position, like I just mentioned to you guys. So I can finally do a power up for this NCTY, because I would only go short this thing, and I've been fighting it all morning long. Let's see if we finally have the good one here to the south side. And that Wish, basically holding an 18. I'll actually double down on this at this price. Now I got 92s. I'll take some more if 18 gets rebroken. Okay,
yeah, Wish. Yeah. Oh man, you know what else we looked at? What I wrote down here was Airbnb at 151. We did talk about Airbnb a little bit today. 151. We did like the long through here off the open, and oh man, that would have been a nice trade, and we would have definitely got out. We are not trying to hold Airbnb. Look at this falling right back down, but again, it's kind of developing a little level here, kind of like what Roku did. 146.80. Let's go long. I mean, that could break. The only problem with Airbnb right now is, as I look at it, and hopefully you do as well, the spread, right? So you got to watch out. Like, that's 70 cents right there. So you could break through 146.80. We definitely like that one. Here's that 151. I mean, I said it earlier. You get 150, 151, 150, 50. It's very, very slippery because I don't know what the spread is like here. So I'm not sure what you would have got long, but this is not a horrible opportunity. 146.80 break, but I don't think I could take it with anything serious just because of the way the spread is right here. But I'll take a 146.80 break here on Airbnb, guys. What's up, Brad?
Another one to look at just popping up here, guys. We mentioned pretty much the entire group, but now NVIDIA just popping up with a volume alert as well. So 541 day highs there for, or sorry, 543, I should say. Day highs for NVIDIA, 4% as well. Again, back to top end of the range. On the daily chart, chip makers still very, very, very strong. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe so far this morning. About an hour left in the session over there. V, what's up?
Hey, Brandon, European shares are trading higher in the first session of this year on the optimism around Brexit and the vaccine. TUI trading in Germany is a positive mover after its chief executive said that he expects a largely normal summer this year. Back to you.
Yeah, I just saw level 5 restrictions, the highest level going into place for the UK. So be safe, guys, if you're over in the UK.
Level 5, yes, activated, I guess, on that one. We were just going to look again here, obviously, at NEO, and yeah, it just said no thank you to that bottom 53.40 there that we talked about, actually, and now it's ripping back to the upside of 53.80. Watch out for it taking out the highs there. You guys wanted more plays on NEO. We gave you this one, 53.20 break. That was fantastic, and then we take a 53.50 break, which has also been pretty good. Out 80s. It stops there again, 75. So let's just see what we do here. I'm still trying to hold out for 54 on a daily chart. Here it is here. On a daily chart, this is breaking. Obviously, it broke out from 50 bucks last week. Now you're even higher. I think NEO goes, guys, all the way up. So I'm trying not to dump this one. I'm going to give this one all the way back to 53. We've absolutely murdered this stock today. It's been my #1 stock. I think the best stock on the board here for any one of us here today. NIO, what? I mean, I can't do any better than that. We'll look to make that same play tomorrow, guys. But I mean, even right now, 30 pennies in the money, not too bad.
If I could, I was seconds away from being able to show you a big bid on NCTY. So the same way I got in because of a big seller around that 640, there was just about a 25,000 share bid that got taken out, let's just say. So I was about to consider punching out. My stop was at 650 on this recent short at 641. But I was about to do it, and then once I saw the bid get filled, no reason to get out of it. I'm going to go with the same stop that I have, but worth noting, when I see that sort of size step in here, there are some players in this range. That's why I've been scalping inside of it instead of trying to get too greedy. I got distracted from bingo here just by sort of the size I saw at NCTY. Consolidation, 535, 525. I got 32s, which is right in the middle. This was the previous breakout, that failed break at 525. I'm going to fade into 5 even here. Now, obviously 5 is a good price and stands out, but there are scalp trades to be had because if you're a day trader and 175 million shares doesn't excite you, then I don't know what you're doing. If you're going to be an active trader, like I try to be on some of these names, I'm going to try to scalp it. It is still an upward trend. Until it breaks 5 even, you're still in a bit of an upward trend on this name. So every single short I take is going to be a quick in and a quick out until we're below $5, guys.
Okay, yes, so that's BNGO. We're still in NEO here, up that 30 cents. That's Bitcoin. Just to give you guys a quick look at that as well. You may notice that we're still in CGC. I'm going to hold this down to VWAP, so we're going to see what's doing on that one, but we still are long and just hovering right now. Big win, though. We're out of a third. This one cannot be a loser at this point. Mr. Wickens.
Chinese name here, guys. We talked about this. I want to make sure I get the date right. I think it was Thursday. It doesn't actually say the date, but if you remember, this one back on Thursday popped up, EBON. They announced, it might have been way back here, I can't remember. They announced they were getting into cryptocurrencies. That's the story. So record highs over the weekend, obviously, for Bitcoin, but eBang International, EBON, another one kind of crypto related, guys.
So I wanted to make sure I showed this at some point today, and I say it almost once a show, but sometimes your best trade is not going to be a winning trade. It's going to be getting out. Now, the only one of these EV names that I wanted to try the short break on was on XPeng, and they clearly said 44.70 on a break to the downside. I mean, it was actually 44.75 was a pre-market low, so 5 cents here, there doesn't matter. With a tight stop at 45 even. If it retakes it immediately, just get out. You're the wrong way. If it holds that, I think it would have been a great flush. We do get out of it. it is what it is. You only take like that small hit, and now it's at 47. So you save yourself a bit of coin. Now, what would I have actually lost if I got if I got stubborn? Maybe an extra 30 cents, maybe an extra 50 cents. It's hard to say, but if you don't have a plan, you get absolutely burned here. And I think XPeng showing you an example of that. If this stock gets to 50, it's 51.50. 50 has to break first. If it gets to 51.25 to 50, I'm going to like this one for a definite short off of that level in the upcoming days. If it does give a bit of a rollover at that price, it should be a good one. Got to break through this area here, of course, and then break 50 as well. But line that one up. I think XPeng is going to be a solid one. You can see it off of its highs. I mean, that goes without saying. Long way to go, and that's the reason why I wanted to pick on this one as the short. NEO closer to its highs and much, much stronger.
Yeah, Neil, I mean, we were going long on everything EV today, so for us, that was fine, but we only hit NEO, so good review on that one. And this is the thing about CCL, man, we were one and done. We were monster shares on this one, and you could see, man, wish we would have held that, and then we probably wouldn't have to trade the rest of the week. But regardless, more money, more problems, I guess. 21.40. For some reason, we had so many shares that we were just like a lightning bolt here, out, and then we got out some here 21s, and then we defended that 21 level right there. We didn't need to. It breaks out there on a break of 75, and now we're going to the high side right there. But CCL, look at this, guys. If you're gonna have one trade today, I've already gone over this, but here's the sticky note that you guys all love to see. There it is, 21.40 CCL. Look, what else has that? Palantir never got that high. We shorted the crap out of that one. Made some big money on that. There's your XPEG 50. And then look at those NEO 51.50s there as your bottom. And you have that one in, hopefully, today. 3 big trades for me anyways. CCL, monster to the downside. That was my biggest one. And then NEO, look, we could lose tomorrow. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. But we were 3 losses all month. Last month in December, 3 negative days. We punched NEO in the face again. It gets right to 54. So, this is that long, 53.50, right to 54, putting another 50 cents in our pocket. You could see the damage Neil and I are doing at the bottom. As it rolls through our positions, you'll see how much we're up or down on individual stocks. And needless to say today, Pokeroo, Sean, big day, man. We're 7x our daily goals right now. So we're just going to keep on going, guys.
100%. And someone just asked about BTBT here. Watch BTBT, what to expect. I mean, I sort of gave my play here, and if I think a stock is a little bit too strong, a little bit too bullish, I'll just take the one shot in the short and kind of walk away from it, as opposed to wanting something I want to be involved in all day long, like a BNGO. I'll probably trade all day. I'll probably trade NCTY all day. We'll see about Wish. I mean, that's no guarantee. If this holds here, I mean, there was already a bit of support at 27.50. So if it holds here, you're probably looking at a retest of 30, and that would give you a bit of a break in the afternoon. We've seen last year, and of course that means last week as well, that the afternoon push on some of these, I guess, sexier names or hotter names, or the hot chick, whatever you like to call it, of the day. I think BTBT has fallen into that category where everyone is looking to play a bit of a long side push. And if it holds the first level of support at 27.50, breaks back above VWAP, it's a 30 break. I'm not shorting it unless it's below $27 at this point. So look for like maybe a 30. I'd prefer that in the afternoon. This is not a play I'd do at lunchtime here when it's already on the pullback train. But with any luck, it gives you that consolidation. The longer, the better. And then you catch a 30 break going into the afternoon. That's what I'd be watching for. But I'm already one and done this stock.
All right. Yep. Okay. Just watching here, NEO up still that 40 cents. We do have a level here at 54. So those of you that watch the show know that it's just about education as much as it is about trading. Watch this. You're going to see 54 break right here. Maybe this is not a horrible spot to get out right now, because you see it's bounced off 54 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I think we'll put an order here to get out there. You did see some decent. You did see some decent size there at 54. So we will wait to see what we can do at that. So I'm going to put an order now to get out around 54, then maybe reverse into a short on NEO. We did average in a little bit to CGC, so our average price now is 50. We did take a little bit more at 50 right there. We're still using 40 as the bottom, so we could eventually wind up losing on this CGC trade, but it is called back in. I think a lot of that was just hype, right? You did get that Senate. A lot of people thinking the same thing as us. Oh my God. I don't want to miss this trade, but right to the upside, we did catch it there. That's 30 cents. That's 40 cents, and now we'll try it again. We reload here, sub 50. Now our price is exactly 50. So let's see how high CGC wants to go. We're going to get out if it gets back to 90, guys.
And I want to go to Fubo here just if I can for a second. It has made a bit of a bottom, so looking at some names that have been I don't know, beaten up over the last little bit. Fubo, if it got to 25, we talked about this, I think around like around the 38-40 consolidation, that was the most obvious area of support. You can see the 50 period emerging here in 25.50, the previous bottom before the ramp up to those highs over $60. 25.93 current low. It's just a little bit off of that 25.50 level, but that's sort of an obvious place where if there was going to be a bounce finally in Fubo, it might be there. It looks like it has happened so far today. I'm going to look for a long off that low a day. If I can get it closer to 26, I'll definitely like it there. I've got to be patient with Fubo. You're going against the grain the last couple of days and weeks, I guess, as this has come off over 50% from the top. It is already 10:40. That means we have to get to Brendan at the big screen. It's time for a sector watch, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500. We'll talk about what is moving the overall market. Want to start here. This is the tech group. We are down now 0.6% for the overall market, but look at the tech group again, that FLIR, discount that because it's a buyout, so 19% yes, but it's being bought, so not really moving at all. It's all about the semiconductors, the only ones in this group that are strong. XLNX, AMD, KLAC, NVIDIA, LRCX, all at least 4% or above in positive territory. Software services, DXC standing out 4.8% to the upside. Pretty much everything else, including some of the travel names, really weighing on the market so far today. And when I mean travel names, you can have a look at the cruise lines, CCL, NCLH, RCL, all 4.5 to 6.3% to the downside. If you're talking about Norwegian leading so far to the downside. L-Brands down here, though, 7% higher, offsetting. eBay also having a nice day, 3% to the upside. Gap, another one in negative territory. There's Tesla, 4.9%. Industrial shares as well. Here's all the airlines, 3 to 4.5% to the downside. So travel names with COVID headlines going to be under pressure. UPS and FedEx after the holidays, getting a little bit of sell pressure as well. Capital goods, the entire group pretty much in negative territory. I wanted to point out a couple over on this side. I saw Tesla or Twitter. 2% for Twitter today in the communication services group. Everything else pretty much red, but Twitter standing out there as strong. Materials, there's these three at the top, ALB, FCX, and Newmont Mining, 4.5 to 5.5% to the upside. The real estate group in the top corner there. The entire thing in negative territory. But industrials, financials, and some of the consumer discretionaries really weighing on the overall market, offsetting some strength from tech stocks, 0.5% to the downside now for the S&P 500. Back to Sean.
Brendan, I don't even know what to do here, so I'm just going to do a bang for NEO. You guys know what's happening over on this side with this stock, and we just continue to just trade. I mean, this is what I mean. We're now 8x our day. Look at this, a 53.50 right here, another 75-cent win here on NEO as it just keeps on climbing. I love this name. We're in this name as well, but we are in it right now, 53.50. We initially bought down here at the low of the day. What a great trade that was. And again, like some of the other shows out there might show you that they got long here, but we actually took that right in front of everybody, took that long right here live on the show, then got long again on the break, and now you're seeing it just rip to the high side. What a big day this has been for me here, and we'll just continue. I'm so glad. I hope your 2021 is starting off the same as mine with a bang, to say the least. So right here, as we go up, I just feel like doing some backflips as we go. It's just been that kind of a day. We go perfect today. Absolutely no losers. CCL, a big trade there. If we still had this one, I'd be probably doing real backflips down to 2025. What a big trade CCL was today. What a big trade Palantir was off of this short. This is $1 short right there. In about 10 minutes, you get $1. You're welcome for that one. And then NEO, man, just still ripping faces off and making moons right now. So still to the high side. Congratulations, anybody on NEO with me. It's a hot dog for everyone, and especially you, Lori, as I know you love those hot dogs.
Palantir was a short. Now it's turning into a bit of a long trade. It just dipped off of 23.50. I reloaded at that price with a bit of a tight stop in here around VWAP. I just scalped some out because there was a monster. I mean, there was a 50,000 share order in the offer at 70, and then somebody sitting there at 67 with 30,000 shares. So you read into that what you want. I elected to just get out some of it in the middle and not gamble on which one of those was messing around and which was real. If it gets back towards that 24 top, I will also take some profit around this price. And still the plan, of course, is to see if we can't hold on for something a little bit bigger and better towards these pre-market highs in that $25 range. But scalping some, it makes a lot of sense. There was a lot of chop around 24 bucks, so a lot of issues breaking through there. So buy the dip. Get some out. We can be active here now. Obviously, if you're not able to be an active trader like we are with our fees here at Day Trade the World, certainly hanging on and just allowing to go back like 23, not a horrible idea. A Palantir hopefully gets to that 25 today. If it doesn't, I'm now giving a stop to about VWAP. Never exactly at that price, 'cause I think that's a little bit crazy. Before we go to Brennan, just going to go back to this one, which has not been any trouble. OCGN continues its very slow grind to the downside. I haven't reloaded because it hasn't gotten to VWAP, but if this retakes 3 even, might be worth a short breaking through 3. Now, all the shorts I've had here have been 340s and 380s and then $4, so that'll be a ways away from our original entry prices, but looks like it'll be worth it. Brendan, what's up, bud?
We mentioned right off the bat this morning, if you joined us at the beginning of the show, we were talking a little bit of strength coming into some energy names, along with crude oil in general. There were some OPEC headlines that came out pre-market as well, talking about maintaining current production levels. So some of these energy stocks, guys, XOM showed strength initially, but look at these moves now back to the downside. 42.20 straight to 41 here for XOM. Shift over to Chevron, same thing. Initial strength faded hard, 86 down to 84 for Chevron as well.
All right. Yeah, we like Chevron. I like Chevron for sure. But what's happening to the NASDAQ rate here, more importantly? 1280 there, still making moves to the downside. So
yes, worse.
We did take a little bit of a hit there trying to trade some Bitcoin, but we are coming back to the downside. So we got to watch out for NEO right here on the market. We just were in the money 85.90 cents. Now it's coming back in. And we're going to let this one go still, $53. I mean, we've just been crushing it. If we wind up losing on the last third of this position, we'll wind up losing on it. Oh, I did want to say this. It says every day Sean is 8X. Not true. I mean, I don't think the last time I told you guys I was 8X on the show, but there you go. Today, yes. And then someone says needs a bigger target. Hell yeah. And welcome to my life, guys. I need to have a bigger target. It's just sometimes it's hard to even up your shares even more, despite even considering the run that you're on. It's just you do get complacent sometimes, but I do have to up my shares. And I said to myself, I would do that today. So that's why you do get that 8X. Normally, like 2 or 3 by now is what I'm pretty happy with, but we will have to readjust. So you probably won't see me at 8X anymore unless we have a monster day, but we'll readjust, guys. But it's been a monster day, man. Like, I'm already up more today than I probably was 3 or 4 days combined last week. So a good day so far today. And we just crushed it with those 3 early trades. And even since then, man, NEO's been, we took that apart as well. And looking for more. We take it a little bit more on Palantir as well. So big day coming, guys.
If you guys are looking, someone was asking about BTBT, and I apologize. We get a lot of the things going through the chat. Try to get through as many of them as we can. So I didn't see the name who was asking about it. I thought there'd be a longer consolidation, and then maybe you get a break of that 30 level a little bit later on in the session. That certainly has not been true because it's breaking out right here and right now. So unfortunately, apologies there. I did like this idea for a break, but it's not something I wanted before 11 o'clock. I wanted an afternoon bit of a run, and the volume still rather low for this breakout. And this is the thing. If it's going to hang out lower volume in the consolidation, I don't love the break unless we get a corresponding volume spike, which I think is a little bit more likely in the afternoon, if not even power hour. Comes and goes. You get what you get, and you sort of cannot predict what's going to happen in the market. You take what it gives you. As I see the ES sort of leading the way to the downside, Sean mentioned the NASDAQ, almost 1% down. Apple, right at this 130 level, trying to form a bit of a double bottom. Now, obviously, the market is falling. It just feels like there's going to be an opportunity to bottom pick on Apple. If we break down past this low and that 1% mark, look for that. Look for that. If we hold 130 and that happens in the ES, we hold 1% to the downside, break 1% to the downside, and then maybe Apple holds a 130 level. I'd like that to long, but you don't want to fight the market too much. It's likely to follow it. It will beat it, of course, in the long term, but I wouldn't fight it too hard. I'm going to go back to Palantir if I can. I still like holding on to this long trade, but it just feels like every time it bounces off VWAP, I'm going to bounce back into some shares around 23.50 and then try to scalp some out. So might get a little bit more active with it. It's slowing down, giving consolidation, so I might play within the range while staying net long. If it breaks VWAP, I will be out and not looking for a short. I feel like the bottom, at least temporarily, has been put in.
And this is why we don't drop NEO, guys. So again, roller coaster ride on this one today. For those of you that have sort of been trying to scalp this, we've been trying to hold it 54.40 right now upside. Let's dump a little bit right now on this one, and we'll get out and then just see what happens. 54.40, a couple tops, 1, 2, 3 times. Now this makes sense to me to look to get out of NEO. So we will put an order upside and just see if we get this out right now. 36.37 here on the last little bit. But it's been a big day, guys. Join us all on Twitter, and we'll see what's going on over there. But look at this, guys. QS, I mean, look, not being profitable until 2025, like that came out, like, nah, that's what's going to happen to your stock when that comes through. I guess people thinking a little earlier on the profitability would be nice. And yeah, I don't want to keep my money. Although Uber just kind of turned to profit, about a year or so after. We know the Amazon story as well. QS is not one of those, I do not believe. So QS just continues to fall. We will try to find a bottom, but again, like normally I would have taken a breakout through VWAP right here, but you can see not much happening on the QS front right there. So let's go back over to Roku quickly, have a look at that. We're still waiting for, what do I have, 330? Yeah, so I have a 330 break right here that we're looking at. If that comes in, we will hit Roku on a 330 break. But right now, without any further ado, we got to give it over to the big screen. Let's just find out exactly now what Ripple's doing, what crypto's doing with Brendan over at the big screen.
But we'll talk mostly about cryptocurrencies here again today, guys. BTC, I'll focus your attention at the bottom. Bitcoin still 8.3% off the lows, 31,705. Left my little arrow there on the high, the very high that we touched on the weekend, which was 34,822. So all the way back to 31,713. Bit of a pullback, but still significantly higher from the lows, 8.4%. Look at Ethereum, though. 1,040, that got up to almost 1,200, so the pullback not as great. 42% on the day to the upside for Ethereum. Yeah, Ripple's still struggling, unfortunately, 2%, struggling around that 23-cent level for Ripple. But a lot of focus on these three so far today. Missing out on moves in the euro, a full percent to the upside, 22.6. There is actually surprisingly a lot of US dollar strength coming back into play today. We had the Canadian dollar early on this morning hitting a fresh 3-year high, but US dollar strength has brought this back down to basically break even. 78.5, British pound 35 or 135.6, down 0.8%. The rest in negative territory as well, but no significant headlines. All about these ones down here. Again, Bitcoin 8.5% again today, back to 31,700. Guys, back to you.
I was going to talk about a JAGX there, but here goes BNGO. Through the high one more time. Every single time you've seen this on the 1-minute chart, it's gone parabolic for a couple of minutes. There's been a sharp pullback. I was looking at $6 potentially at some point. If it's $5.75, this is a turn I definitely want to have. I do think, now through $5.75, if it's going to be $6, sometimes you get like a 90 to 94, 95 might be the temporary high if there's enough size. But like I said, this is going absolutely nuts. I want to be as fast as possible in front of a 6-level JAGX. Very similar story. $1.19 is the level, but it is not going nearly as crazy. When this comes back in on BNGO, I want to have a piece of this pie here, and here comes 90 to 94 as we speak. You see the offer sort of stacking up there and then slamming down. That is not a heck of a lot of size. Done 200 million shares, really, and a lot of these coming through on dark prints. I know it's hard for you guys to see. Not a lot of liquidity up at these prices, despite the volume that it is doing, and it is trying to stall here. Maybe I should be getting in off the 95 level. Forget about this, waiting around until 6 even. I think the best shot might be here, 94, 95. So I'm going to get into this short here quickly. If it turns, fantastic. If it doesn't, won't be my last trade by a long shot here in BNGO. Brendan?
Yeah, volume coming in here in front of 3,700. So big flush for the market, guys. Somebody just asked, what's up with Snapchat? We talked about this one earlier on this morning. Big flush at the open down to 49, trying to bounce off of 49. Once again, remember Google and Snap in talks to invest in India's ShareChat. So seemingly positive, but nothing really happening. That came out right here. So you can see the volume coming in. We got that headline back to the upside, but all the way back down to almost day lows for Snapchat.
And I did get shares there, 95, 96, and 97 up at the top on BNGO. Now I was able to get some out already in the high 80s to scalp off, about 8 to 10 pennies or so. And if this continues to flush, I'm looking for, call it like 565 to 570. But strength is the name of the game, and I've sort of said it all morning long. You can only fight this one so far. I was looking for a parabolic move to be able to fade off at the top. Now, sure, there were some other highs here that I could have had, but this was that $6 level that I said, finally, if it gets there, I would just take a shot right in front of it on the way up. That was the only one that I wanted to catch in the middle of the parabolic move. So if I do have it here, I'll probably only have a quarter of my position if it gets back down to about 550. Why? Because this is a strong stock. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I am shorting it, but that is just basically because once it overextends itself, what goes up must come down. But I can go power up because it's coming down right now. BNGO, thank you very much for this little bit of a turn that we just caught. I will go back to JAGX because this is what I was going to say to you guys. It was a similar move up at about 119, but that's already happened and not nearly as violent as you saw on BNGO. If it does continue to push to the downside, watch for a retake of $1. When it goes back to penny stock status, I will definitely be involved in it again. Till that happens, I have to watch for the high on JAGX. In this recent high here at 130, if it breaks that, that's where the turn could be on that name. BNGO, only 12 cents in the money. Looks like 580s as far as it's gone for now. I'm only holding about 35% of the position. If it goes any further, you got to be happy with what you get here. Don't look and get the horse in the mouth. It's still going upside on the trend.
Powered up ourselves here and got a little bit of coffee without telling you what it really is. No, it's just coffee, guys. Thank you, Brendan, for the update on crypto there. Yeah, Ethereum up 40% from yesterday's bottom. What a crazy move there. We did unlock some ethers on the Trezor ledger there. So, yeah, good call on that one. We may want to dump some of the ethers eventually, but they are changing the way they're moving around. Okay, one of the stocks here is coming back to life here. PaySafe. And by life, I mean it's heading into its grave, apparently. PaySafe right now down. This is a name that I've recommended, and I'm not long at these prices, but it's getting close to where we're long. This is going to be PaySafe. Brendan and I have gone over, of course it goes to NQ. Let's change this over to NY. Brendan and I have gone over this name a couple times after the show, trying to figure out what the proper value of this thing is. And honestly, no idea. It's probably like a $2.5 billion value right now. Apparently, PaySafe is supposed to come out at, oh no, that's BarkBox, STIC, but PaySafe here up to 17, now falling back in. We were looking at it here and also here, I think 1283 or so. I'll find out my BFT price. I think it's down here plus here. 1283 is in my mind, but I think it's STIC that the 1283 is coming into play here. Some of these names coming back in, we did talk about this. I'm not worried at all about these names. If you're going to play the SPAC game, guys, you have to wait. So this one was a good one. This was 1283 actually long. It goes up to 19. That's happened a couple times intraday, but watch out for BarkBox. If I could have any sort of a longer term position on any of these, that's what I like. BarkBox and BFT. And Neo still bouncing around, man. We didn't take... I got to get into the other version. I didn't take enough out there at 54.50 there where it broke higher. So let's wait to see, man. I'm going to take it out if we go up to 54.50 now. Just been such a big day for us. 54.40, 1, 2, 3 or 4 tops there. This is only a 1 minute chart, so really just a double top there. So let's wait again, man. 54.30. See if we actually are already there. I'm at 54.37 right now. So let's just wait to see if we're lucky enough to get this back upside. Otherwise, I'm just going to hold till VWAP, man, a 53 break. We've been huge today on Neo, so let's not give any back, which we will not do. It's been my number one stock today. That's Neo with only a half hour to go, guys. Thank you again for our record number of viewers today.
100%, and thank you. I mean, it's to start the year, and what better way to start it off? I'm doing backflips, not just because of the excitement, some of the trades that have been on. I'm loving that Neo trade, and I actually like CCL more for a different reason, which I'll get into in a second. Palantir, I just want to let you guys know, that same price, right at 24, it turns around again. So this is why I said take some profit off. It's okay to buy the dip, 23.50 off of VWAP, but certainly scalp some out because it runs into the same resistance it did before. I still want to hold that long for a bigger move. That still could be in the cards, but let's not fight it too far here, guys. If there's going to be some sell action at 24 and you can take a 40, 50 cent scalp, go ahead and do it. Hold the core position, and I'll even reload at the bottom again if I get a shot. 11 o'clock, man, it's like one segment to the other. Time is absolutely flying. It's time to go to the big screen. Europe and our update with Valeria.
Hey guys, European shares are in positive territory, boosted by the Brexit trading deal and the vaccine rollout. Russia is up 1.87%, Britain is up 1.99%, and France is up 0.83%. French winemaker Rémy Cointreau is slightly down 0.39% as the stock has been downgraded after a US decision to impose additional tariffs on the French wines. Back to the traders.
And this is why you get quickly in and out of that BNGO, right? And you'll see out here. I mean, there's a lot. You almost can't see how many exit points there are out of this trade because of sort of rapid fire action. I have some bids in here. If it breaks 6 even, no chance I'm holding through that price. This stock is still going parabolic, but 6 was the level I wanted to take. There it goes long. Oh, sorry, I'm not long through it here. It's just too far. It's come too far at this point. If you had it at like 530, if you had it at VWAP, fantastic. Good for you there. I'm now looking for the next stop to the upside where I can maybe take a bit of a short. I'll look for 650. I'll look for 7 even. Wherever that turn happens, it looks like it's going to be a good one because the volume probably approaching, half a billion shares today. It's at 220 as we speak, and you got to be very, very careful if you want to trade into this name. I wish Wish was doing something, but it's absolutely not. So 95 is my price. It's still at that 18 price. Unfortunately, that one just won't seem to go. It is in a downward trend, so that's a good sign. 3 even is coming up on OCG, and I said I would add back into this one on a 3 break. Not quite there, but when it does break 3 even, I will get more shares to the short side. This will be the most aggressive price I've had all morning. Currently short at 345, but not many shares left from this entry off the open, guys.
So I know I saw BFT up there, but I was looking at NEO again. It's getting... I think a reload level is actually right around here, like 52 and change, like 52.60 or so. Forget about this. We can't play this ultimate bottom here of 53.30. I mean, obviously with some of these wicks didn't happen. We just didn't go to 51 and right back. And if you are wondering, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Trader TV Live, Neil, Sean, and Brendan. Follow us on Twitter and follow us tomorrow. Oh, you know what we haven't done yet? What the hell? Coming up, guys. Very, very soon at 11:30, we did it again. Another one there. It's on DJ Khaled this time, not a salesman, but charting, guys. You want to know the basics of charting? We're releasing this video. Valeria's going to drop the link very, very soon for you at 11:30. The basics of charting. We actually have one already up about scalping, and that's obviously what this is and what I try to do. Holding a little bit longer here. Is that still scalping? I guess it is. This is 1 minute. Holding a little bit longer, but there's a little bit of a video there on charting and sort of what Neil and I look at, Brendan as well, obviously, what we look at. I mean, one thing I'm trying to look at right now is Bitcoin as well, because these names are just going off. BTBT there. If you want to get into any of these names, you don't hold the actual physical coin itself. Remember, you can part buy, if you're just joining us here and you're just joining the crypto world, you can buy a piece of Bitcoin. You don't need to buy 1 Bitcoin for 35,000. You could buy a third of it. You could buy 0.001, open up a Coinbase account or whatever you want and find out. But if you want to play in the equity space, this BTBT, man, Brendan brought us this last week, and I feel silly not getting into this game here. 660. I don't remember. I guess they were just getting into the mining aspect of it. I don't remember the story exactly, but this seems ridiculous. Bitcoin didn't go up 6 times, yet this stock has. So we need a little bit more work to be done here on BTBT, but it's been just a wild one here today. I know Neil's traded it, and good for that. Right now, it seems to be slowing down, so I don't know. Pick your poison here. Are you still in this one, Neil?
No, I mean, I actually talked about possibly getting into the long on a break of 30, but I want that for an afternoon play. It was sort of a one-and-done retracement short. It still could happen because VWAP and this range here at 2850 is still in play. As long as it holds that, I think it's prime for the break. It is what it is. I said $7 and it wasn't there, so BNGO got up to 680 on that parabolic move. I was looking to quickly see if I could catch a similar turn that we had in front of that 6 even at $7, but looks like it's not going to get there. And if you're going to step in front of that freight train, make sure you have a bit of a plan. And risking 25 to 30 cents was definitely not going to be part of it. BTBT will have to be patient with. I still feel like it's set up for potential break, as long as it holds 28.50. I mean, if it breaks through this range to the downside, I'd sort of walk away from that idea and then look for something tomorrow.
So I went and got a coffee and realized that one of my bids actually got filled a little more than I thought. So we didn't get out of everything. So we are holding very, very light. If you do see me long here on CGC, it's not even a real, like it's a real position, but it's not doing anything to my net. So we're just going to hold it through $26. This is not normally a trade that I've been on. I told you there's the out right there, but my out wasn't for as many shares as I had long. So something got filled right there, obviously. I must have got part filled and it filled the rest on the way down. So we do have to watch out there. That breaks, and then we only get out of, I mean, I have less than 5% of the position, but it's still a decent position because it's losing. So let's watch out. The only thing here is it's making me realize that this kind of made a bottom there at 26 even. I did want to look at a day chart on CGC again. Remember, it was NY, so it did switch back over. So if your charting platform doesn't look like this, it's because they've adjusted it already. Ours won't adjust until we re-backload the data. So I'll have to find out from our RT team if that's happening. But 26 and change, yeah, really no key levels here for 26. I just think a psychological level probably just held there, 2607, 2605. So we'll hold this one. I am going to get back out if we're lucky enough to get this back into the 30s. Not going to pretend like this is a winning trade. We did go long at 45, and our plan out was here at 40. We just didn't get out of enough. So we got to put an order here to get out if it does come back up. But just a little bit of CGC talk. If you do notice me in it, it's because we did get too many shares there on an overfill, and then my stop didn't account for them all. So yeah, 26.32. We're going to get out if it gets back up.
So this kind of sucks. Obviously, like I was happy with the 6 short. You're gonna make a little bit of money here on BNGO, and then there's the real one. So waiting for a parabolic move. This is obviously a stronger one. You're gonna see more volume on the 6 break than you saw leading into the move from 550 to 6. So that's one side to that coin. I thought maybe it would extend into 7 before it did the hard turn. It's still, look at this. I mean, it's still holding up here. Even this consolidation here is at 630. But once it does this deeper pullback, this is the biggest pullback it's had since way, way over here at the open. If we can now hold the highs, I would take another shot off the high. So I'd like a 660 to 670, maybe as far as 650 before I chase that, and then see if it's going to come down. Forget about VWAP. You're probably playing that into like a 570 to 6 even area. But BNGO, the trend is still up, guys. But that last roll was a good one. Can't believe I missed it. Brendan, what's up?
A few people were looking at this one in the pre-market. IPOC, Social Capital's third SPAC. This is going to be Clover Health. Looks like some stops just got run there. Big volume spike came in, guys. We had a big flush down through $15. I don't see headlines on this, but down more than 10% for IPOC. Again, going to be Clover Health, guys.
Remember what I was saying. I mean, the same thing with BFT there, Brendan, and STIC. Now you have IPOC. You probably have a couple other SPACs that are heading to the south side and recent releases as well, because I think it's just right now, I mean, we can panic all we want. The market's down 1.5% and not stopping. So, yeah, there is some downward movement today. That's for sure. And there's a lot of names giving up the ghost today. So no surprise. This is just CGC, but, you know, no surprise. Neil has talked about Apple a little bit today. 129 actually holding up relatively okay, still down 2%. I just expected it to actually be leading this because there's a lot of money coming out of the oft-loved NASDAQ, guys. So just watch out there. I think it might be a good reload spot later on in the week. You may continuously get dumps in this market, but here we go. We're right back down to right where we said, man, 52.60. So we've averaged into some here. I'm just looking at my last couple prices. Where are we going to get out? Right on a 65 break. So right around here we'll get out, but we are averaged in now. Long 95, so 52.95 now. Long on NEO. I don't think we should get it all out, but we will take some out right there. There it is, a nice little win right there. Back 10, 15 cents now in the money on NIO. We bought and picked that perfectly. That was a big, that's why my average price right now is 52.86 because we did put a lot of shares on at the bottom here. So here we go. Neil, we're doing it again, man. We're still cooking it up right now. We're cooking it up, and here we go, Neil, another big win. We did it again on this one, guys. 0 LFT now.
Fighting over here. Oh, sorry, guys. BNGO just made another break to the high. I actively got in short a couple of times. This one for a win. This one basically out flat, but it's approaching 7 even, where I'm going to take another shot here at the top. I got 92, but I want my average price to be about 96, 97. We'll see if 7 even can hold. And, of course, It's like in, it's out, it doesn't. I got to wait for a bit of a pullback here, but every single one of these shorts is going to be very, very tight stop in and out. Eventually, I do think you're going to get a good break to the downside, but you cannot hold. You just can't do it. Every single one of these, I'm in, I'm out, and with relatively like a minute or so, I talked about Apple, but that was if we, look, if we broke 3,700 on the ES and held 130, I liked Apple. That didn't happen. We broke 3,700 down, and Apple also broke the low. So if we get back above 13, maybe make, 130, maybe make a bit of a base in this falling market, which we have not. I think Apple is going to be a good one. Relatively speaking, it is looking a little bit strong, guys. Just going to quickly show you the chart here. It's a slight break, and it's not nearly as bad as the ES is going to look, and sort of the NASDAQ as well. So overall, Apple's poised to lead any kind of a pushback that does come in the afternoon or during lunchtime. I just wouldn't do it yet because the trend is very clearly to sell off some of the bigger names today and a lot of the tech space, so I wouldn't be fighting that train. I still am going to get that OCGN on a 3-even break, but it's BNGO I've been trying to get, and of course, as I go and talk about Apple, I missed that turn, so what we do for you guys here. I was trying to be very active here. That's why you saw when Sean threw, I was sort of paying attention to my level 2. This was the turn I wanted. I got in and out there at 7. Missed the re-entry point, as you can see, which is a good one. I got to stop fighting the trend only. And like I say, sometimes go long. I did it a couple times this morning at 9:30 and then got right away from that. And then waiting for each one of these parabolic moves up to fade it, guys.
Yeah, moves going parabolic here, that's for sure. A lot of stocks going off today, and we did talk about hopefully a lot of them for you, and you understand sort of our talk here and why we like some of these names and why we do not. Like there it is. We talked about releasing a scalping video, guys. Look at this. I mean, that's what we do, man. You hear me hitting keys like a madman. I have 258 trades today, and yeah, we're doing pretty good on today, as I said. We won't keep saying 8 times because we're going to change our goal. So that'll be different for tomorrow. Maybe we'll double the goal and then see how we go. You don't want to get too overconfident on one day, right? I mean, one day does not make a month. We need 20 great days to happen here, and we're so far so good on that. So NEO right now, long, and we're using this as our bottom, 65. So again, you know, you've asked for me to give you guys specific entries and exits and when we're taking shares. So I did stay away from NEO for a while until we saw it come back. Even when it was up here, I was like, guys, let's wait until we get near 52.60, this bottom. I actually said this could have been the bottom here, 52.30, but we took it a little bit early. We try to defend this view up. It does break. We let it come back down, and then we have our outs. So well worth it for me. And there's another one. So yes, sir, Belly Dance Central just keeps going on. We're making that cash. We're making a lot of it today. So it's been a big day for us. I've stayed away from Tesla, but why do you need Tesla when we're crushing this, guys? Good luck. There it is, out of NEO right there. So bang, we take out the stick again, hit that to the high side. Another 40-cent win brought to you by yours truly for you on NEO. Brendan, give him another one, man.
I just found this little teeny tiny biotech, guys, from Israel. In fact, a microcap biotech, 22 million. This is Check Cap Limited. So Check Cap Limited got a listing extension from the NASDAQ today and has since run up 140%. That seems a little much. Back to $1. It was actually a lot higher, but back to $1, halted on the way down there for Check, guys.
Only 104%, eh?
Yeah, that's nothing. I mean, how many names are there that actually have, you know, more than 10%? Just on my board alone, it's kind of crazy. And to the upside, I just added Check, and I don't know why it doesn't show up when I scroll all the way to the bottom. That's kind of annoying. But it's down here. BNGO is the other one over 100%. And if you haven't realized that it's moving, well, I don't think you've been watching the show. There was one more stock that we were talking about that I thought was going to give us a bit of a chance at a bounce. There was just no consolidation at this bottom on Fubo. It can't seem to hold. So 25.50 doesn't do much of anything except break. Now we're in through a 25 even potential hold. This is what we're looking at on the daily chart. I mean, if Fubo can't hold this level, I don't want to touch it to the long side. You can forget about it. If this goes back up from here and 25 is held, 25.50 was the price we liked before. So that has to happen first. If you're catching a falling sword, I'd rather wait for it to go a little bit sideways. But there was just no support when it got to that 25.50 price. Got there for a couple of minutes and then broke it rather promptly. So no Fubo long until it breaks back up above 25.50.
I did want to say again a Happy New Year to all my, I don't know, what do you call it? I guess followers on Twitter. I did put a Happy New Year tweet out there and got a lot of love on that as well. So if I didn't respond to you, Happy New Year to everybody. And then a belated, obviously, Merry Christmas, as that was a popular one that we had out there as well. Breathe, Sean, because right now, look, we're super happy with our day, right? But I don't, some of the best trades you make, Neil said, was some of the ones, like the bad trades you get out of, so you don't have that huge loss. But look at this one on CCL, guys, like 21.40 down to 20, like this was a monster. This was the month here if I had still held anything whatsoever. I thought we were pretty good holding for $1 or so, and then it breaks back up and we get out. But look at CCL, Daryl, just continues to go down. I call you out on that one, Daryl, because this stock, yeah, up in smoke right now. Carnival Cruise Lines down that 7%. And honestly, guys, still looking to make moves to the downside. I cannot wait for tomorrow morning. I hope you'll join us again, as I'm going to try again to hit this thing. And again, my number one stock today is NEO. We've been playing that like a glove, but CCL, off of one trade today, we were monstrous. That's why we are up what we are today in CCL, NEO, and then Palantir. But 25 here on CCL, that's not coming back anytime soon. Watch out for 18 and change. But yeah, on a daily, I don't really, I mean, we can zoom in a little bit here. I don't see much on this. That's not what gave me pause for concern. What I really did like on CCL was just, we hit it on Friday for a huge trade, was this 2150 break, and it happened early right here. So we hit that again to the downside, and then we just paid off. Like, last time it stopped at 21, right? So that's why, we're pretty happy getting them out at 21, let alone 20. So CCL may be up for a bounce here if you need something. There's only 15 minutes left in the day. What is at 20E? What's the low? A 20.04. So let's scroll down just to see. Yeah, okay, so there is a little bit of size here at 20 even. Hey, Valeria, how are you doing today? We haven't gone to Valeria enough today. I'm going to do a quick check here on likes just to see what we're at. We're not even at 4,000 yet, guys. So our record is 4,000. If you're watching the show right now, turn this little guy blue if you can, and let's get going, because 4,000, I think our record, Valeria, if I'm not mistaken, 4,100. Can you confirm or deny, Miss V?
Hey, Sean, absolutely confirm. And we need just 400 more likes to break the record. Guys, we have more than 7,000 of viewers. Please, let's do this. Hit thumbs up, and back to you, Sean.
Okay, we'll check back in that in a minute, because right now I just got out of my NEO trade at that 37 level. It does come up. Whoops, and whoopsies, comes out and prints us out again. So a nice little out on NEO. And there it is, guys. Thank you so much. Valeria, 4.1 kV, we got it. So there it is. Thank God we thought about that idea. Now we're up to 4.1. So good job there. Thank you so much, viewers. I'm glad you're liking the show. And just come back. Neil, myself, Brendan put a lot of time. Valeria and Rob, Lucas back there put a lot of time in making this show what it is. So hopefully you're enjoying it, which it appears they are, Brendan.
Indeed. Thank you so much, guys, once again. One we didn't look at today, it's kind of flown under the radar a little bit, but a headline on Workhorse here, guys. They had a new order come in today. Pride Group Enterprises ordering just over 6,000 C-Series all-electric delivery vehicles from Workhorse. So you can see big move in the pre-market here, 2020 to 2180, but all the way back down, just trying to hold 2020 again for Workhorse. Still positive, though, on the day, guys.
2020, good little number there. And thank you very much, Brendan. You're always good luck, so I'll hit the yeehaw. Why not? Let's do it. Talk about OCGN. Now, this is a different trade from what we were doing before, which was sell and hold. 3 even was a breakout into the previous low of the day. That's why you'll see some more executions to cover this one to the downside. So I got the 3 break. I'll still hang on to some of these shares at 98 just to see if we can take out low a day at 280. And the reason I want to do that is just look at this. Look at this gap to the upside. You already had one pullback when it went parabolic from penny stock to 3. This is 306, the previous high before this little gap. If we hold this all afternoon, I mean, come on, a really good shot. You can still go to like a 250, even deeper than that on OCGN. Palantir is back up to 24. If this fails to break this 24, obviously at some point I have to get away from the idea of buying every single dip. I still have an order there. And if it holds it one more time, I'm probably not going to buy a 2350 dip. If it breaks out, you're looking at probably about 2410. If you like that for a breakout price, I'm already long here, so I'm probably not going to go do it. Either way, I'm holding for a 25. That's going to be the target on the day. If 2410 goes, 25 is what we like here on Palantir. I think the bottom has been put in. It's been a good one. And like we said, I love that 4-2 number for a lot of reasons. One, because the all-time hits leader is around that range. But it's also my lucky number, 42. But we should be getting to like 5,000. Let's go to uncharted territories. And I just want to remind everybody, we don't necessarily do this enough because education is what it's all about here, talking through the trade process. But And I'm not saying that charting is a be-all, end-all. I don't think anybody is. But understanding at least the basics of charts, if you want to be an active trader, some basic patterns to look at, what they mean. It is information, and information is going to be power ultimately, so use it however you want. Check this video out. Valeria has dropped a link. It is a fantastic one, I think. A little bit longer form. It's about half an hour, so it might have gone longer than that. We wanted to make sure we covered all of the basics when it came to charting, understanding it, and then how to use it for your trading as well, guys. So that's what we're trying to do here. And hopefully Palantir is trying to break that 24.10, and BNGO is trying to break $7 again. The stock is insane.
Yes, BNGO. And again, that was a name, guys. Yeah, short that at your peril, BNGO, obviously, today. And yeah, we'll start looking at these more in the upcoming days because normally I do trade. That's still CGC. Oh, yeah, CGC, you want to talk about discipline, comes right back up. Yeah, this was kind of an easy break here off the open, but then it got really, really choppy in this area. But then once you took this out, guys, 560 bombs away. So a nice little trade there on BNGO for anybody that did have that one. Looking back at AMD, I'm not getting exhausted, but there's a lot of trades that I've made today. 283 fills for me as we go here. Just to look what I'm trading right now, Bitcoin, GBTC, a couple shorts here and just cashing them out again piece by piece. We shorted up here, nice little drop down. Now we're getting out on GBTC, so a good little call there. And guess what, guys? No LFT, our highest spot all day we're at right now. So again, really, really super happy with this one. Can't be more happy with the way today's turned itself out. And yeah, there goes Bitcoin looking to break 34. Sorry, GBTC. Watch this name if you are interested in trading some Bitcoin, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking another crack here on some consolidation BNGO. You can see it's stalled at $7 a couple of times since that failed breakout price. So I'll go one more time here. Well, I shouldn't say one more time because we got like 9 minutes left in the show and you never really know how active the stock is going to be. But it's probably the last one that you'll see live on the show. If it falls, sorry, just got some out there in front of that 80 level. I'm short here at 89. 7 even is going to be my head. I'll scalp it down to like a 650 or 660 if this is the time that it goes. But you have to be a little bit more active in this than you might want to for some of you guys. So, you know, sort of tread lightly here. This one is working out for me, but again, going to be fast on the keys to make sure I'm covering profits once it gets to that 10 to 15 cent range because it just doesn't want to fall further than that. I missed the one fantastic short. Why? Because it didn't turn at an obvious level. And you know what? If it doesn't want to turn at an obvious level where I feel like there's going to be a good out for me, then so be it. You know, you have to have a bit of a level that you know I can get out where I want to. $7 certainly was that price. 680 was entirely too random for me to play against. Come on, Palantir. Here comes, sorry, actually, yeah, there you go, Palantir. Through 24.10, finally, on the second leg of its break, about 60 cents in the money. That has a ways to go, I think. I think 25 is certainly in the cards today for Palantir as long as we can hold view up.
Yeah, you guys know that we love Palantir, and I'm pretty long that name as well. We did talk about this one happening today, hopefully, and that was CCL down to 20. And what I was talking about before I get carried away here was in the fact that we bounced off that 20. We did show you that there was some decent levels there at 20. So yes, still some more to go here and some work to be done on CCL as we wait to see what this wants to do at that 20 level. But NEO continues to go to the upside there. We did have a beautiful out on NEO and 53.20 there off of these longs. This is what we're talking about. We defended VWAP there. We also defended this bottom that we gave you. And now you're going back to the upside. So congratulations, anybody that held that. We just scalped it real quick there. There's too many double tops. Obviously, that's after the fact, but 53.30. Then you saw over here, we did have some 53.30 problems. So we got them all out there in the 20s off of an 80 bounce. So that was a good one, man. That was 40 more cents in our pocket there. So good trading to go today. I have zero complaints about anything that's been happening today, except for maybe that we didn't trade Tesla. We gave some ins on Tesla early on, but it never really pulled back. Let's load up a 3-minute chart here, not one. That's what it's doing now. It's pulling back down, 728 bottom. But let's just look at a 3-minute chart, see if it's any more clear on what we missed out on. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit more. This was the opening break. Where was the market? Yeah, okay, so we were actually down here. So we did miss out. Like I took the NEO break on the high of the day, probably the exact same time this popped through as well. So 722 and upside. Look at the NASDAQ still down and Tesla's still up 4%. So relatively strong Tesla. We'll be looking for some longs tomorrow, especially if the market opens up down again. We'll be looking for some longs in Tesla, guys.
Thank you very much, Daniela, for the super chat there in Canadian dollars. We're of course north of the border here. So speaking of Canada, I feel like we're gonna. Is it 5 or 6 o'clock that we're gonna crush Russia in the semifinals today? I have to double check the time. Of course, we're a big hockey country. Yeah, sorry, Valeria, but it's gonna happen. The World Juniors are going on, and Canada's gonna do what they're gonna do. You know what's gonna happen today. You know what's going to happen.
No, Valeria is saying they're going to win. Hopefully we can, us and the U.S. on separate sides of the bracket. So we'll wait for that.
Yeah.
Valeria, we'll see what happens to Russia today. Trust me, Canada. I'll find the odds for you guys on that one.
Yeah, actually, I'd love to know what the odds are because maybe we can do something maybe fun. But we'll make sure we have the correct odds. BNGO just psyched me out. And again, you're going to see all of these exits here on the 1 minute because if I'm going to short it, do not fight too hard. 650 to 7 even was the range. Got short in front of 7. I'll just take out the range if I can. It started breaking back up, and I didn't want to have a loser on me, so I didn't even let it get to 7. If this stock wants to actually pull back, there's like a 650 break here, which might be worth it, and then eventually maybe you get that $6 or VWAP or something like it. But I mean, an upward trend is an upward trend, and it is not breaking any of these consolidation levels down. So I'm not going to gamble that the next, each one of these shorts is going to be the one. I'd rather just let it see it happen, and then I can cash the 650 break when it does. So hopefully I get it. It's already starting to come back in. Could I have held? Yes. But that plan, if I'd executed it like 7 or 8 times on the way up, I'd already be crushed on the day. So let's see if it happens. 650 approaching rapidly here towards the end of the show.
Yeah, so it's Canada minus 330. So a very, very heavy favorite there. So more than 3-1, Valeria, on that one. So I know you
not sure how we
mean anything to you because you're not a gambler, but minus 330 there for Canada. So you got to lay $330 to make 100. So yeah, we'll probably win that one. It's also in Canada, right? So that's probably advantageous for us. But okay, that's Neo. Check back quickly as we only have 3 minutes to go. I'm interested to see what kind of a day it is today on our board. Quantum. Not Neo, QuantumScape. Again, making this bottom. Very, very interested here. Could be an options play. Obviously, it'll be very, very expensive on the premiums. But QuantumScape, guys, just watch this break right here. If it does happen, $57. I would go long. I don't know if it happens during the show or not, but this 57 break looks pretty juicy to me. It's made a bottom at 50. So you got to give up $7 there to hold it through 50. But the upside definitely is there. I don't know if it happens today, but I like a 57 break here on Mr. QS, QuantumScape. No profits till 2025, no problem. I don't know. I'm going to hold off on my own account on this one, but I think we'll pick up some more BFT after the show as well, and maybe some BarkBox, guys.
Only a couple of minutes to go. I did get that 650 break, but it's like one scalp out for like 5 pennies, and it looks like immediately I'm going to be out of it again for a 2-cent hit. You cannot seem to catch this one continuously to the downside. Just every single dip gets bought up. Palantir, on the other hand, is grinding towards its target. Now, I don't actually have an order out in front of 25. I think if it goes anywhere close, I'll just look for whatever the term will be on level 2. But it is trailing stop time. Now that it's broken up to and gotten to 24.50, I don't want this to retrace back through 24 even. So if that happens, I'll be out of it through that price, sort of lock in like 50 cents worth of profit. It was a good short off the morning. It was a great short off the morning. That 23.50 area gave you a couple of dips at it. But since it broke back to the upside, it's been a good long at that same 23.50 price. And, you know, this is sort of the reason why we started the show earlier, so we can go over some of these levels, use them to your advantage, not just for the initial move, but sometimes they give you a double dip. And in this case, it was a nice reversal at that same price in Palantir, which is what kind of makes it a great day trading stock, Sean.
Oh, Palantir, hell yeah. Palantir, I've made a lot of money on Palantir being long sub 10 as well in the PA. And then, yeah, today, one of my top stocks, Palantir, and then really glad it's coming upside. Part of the levels that we gave on the sticky note, though, guys, Palantir, watch 24.50. I liked it early, so I do like it now as well. Watch out for 24.50 to break. A minute and a half left. Not enough Valeria, but here she comes again. What up, V?
Hey guys, what a great start of the year for us. Record number of viewers, record number of likes. Thank you very much, and let's keep breaking new records together and succeed. Guys, watch your next educational video at the link I'm sending on the chat, and happy National Spaghetti Day, everyone.
Yeah,
I did
well,
not
hey,
see that
hell
one
yeah.
coming.
That's so, like,
We
you're
broke-
Italian.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thanks, Valeria. I know that I'm Italian. Thank you so much for the love today. And my wife, we have ordered a new pasta maker because we broke it on the weekend as they were trying to make some linguine. So hopefully that comes soon. And we now have the fresh. It wasn't cranking properly.
Okay.
I think it's just super old. It's pretty good quality. I don't know. I got to add some oil to it probably. Maybe some olive oil as we add to that and we go forward. But yeah, I guess Greek olive oil is what it's all about as well. So anyways, big show, guys. I hope that pasta maker comes in soon as we'll be making some. We had some nice clam sauce. So that was very, very nice. Shout out to my lovely wife. Thank you for feeding me all this energy. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, happy long noodle day, because that's what my daughter calls it. If you say she loves it, but if you call it spaghetti, she will literally not eat it until you say we're having long noodles. So
Come on.
Sean, just a suggestion, but KitchenAid stand mixers, they have an attachment automated.
You know what? It's like great minds. That's exactly what we ordered, Brendan.
Oh, nice. There you go.
That's exactly what we ordered was a kitchen. Because you know what else we have? We have the spiralizer of that, where you can spiralize zucchini.
And it's all automatic. Yeah.
This guy, Neil.
Brendan, you guys don't know this thing.
What doesn't this guy know?
Brendan knows his food. He knows his cooking. I'll tell you guys that.
We
for sure.
ordered that exact attachment.
We did not plan this.
Wow, Brendan.
He's low key. Trust me, Brendan has a lot of talents, but the guy knows his food, and he certainly. I get the sense that he can throw down. Certainly, I know he doesn't necessarily always eat the treats, but I know he knows how to make them. It's been an absolutely fun show, and there's the spicy meatball. I think it was. It kind of came and went a little faster than I would have anticipated. So did today's show. But it's been a fun one. It's the first show breaking records for us. So thank you so much for that. First show of 2021. I think it's a bit of a sign of things to come. The market is clearly crazy and still active from last year. And I think we're going to do very, very well in it, as you can see some of these movies here today. But for the entire team, got to go down the line. For Miss V, for man Sean Katina. No, Team Canada. For Brendan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we'll see you tomorrow. Go Team Canada.